Okay, so third point which we are discussing, that is to bear the expenses of a cost of gratuitous bailment. Okay, uh, that means regarding bailment under which bail is to receive no remuneration. This is what your gratuitous bailment, which is coming under section 158. And so this section provides that in the absence of a contract to the bailer must repay the bailee all necessary expenses which are incurred by him for the purpose of the bailment. Okay, but in case of non-gratuitous bailment, the bailer is held responsible to bear only extraordinary expenses. Are you clear in this? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, so now we'll discuss the next point, that is, if the bailer does not have any title to deliver the goods to the bailee, he would be liable to indemnify to the bailee for any loss which the bailee has paid to the original owner. That means what will happen here, you see, if the bailer is not the original owner of the goods which he has bailed to the bailee, then if the original owner finds that the bailee is having that good, then whatever the charges he will charge from the bailee, that shall be recovered from the bailer. Right? Able to understand? And the next point is that if the bailer wrongfully refused to receive back the goods, then he shall be liable to pay necessary expenses incurred by the bailee for keeping these goods safely. That means, suppose I'm giving you one example. You can take the same example.
The
That
slide,
if
slide
yes,
is
yes,
not, the
slide
slide
is not
ticket is
visible.
scroll करते हैं.
Okay. If the bailer does not have any title to deliver the goods to the bailee, he would be liable to indemnify the bailee for any loss which the bailee has paid to the original owner. ये तो थर्ड पॉइंट था. That we have already discussed, no? Okay, okay. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Fourth point we have already discussed. Now the fifth point. If the bailer wrongfully refuses to receive back the goods, then he shall be liable to pay the necessary expenses incurred by the bailee for keeping these goods safely. Why? Because it is the duty of the bailee to keep the goods safely. And for this purpose, if he will bear certain extra expenses and the bailer refuses to take the delivery of the goods, uh, as per the agreement, then whatever the extra period for which the bailee will keep the goods safely, whatever the expenses he will incur for that, he can recover it. Okay, from the bailer.
सर ये wrongfully refuses माने कौन?
Wrongfully refuses, for example, अभी देखो क्या हो गया कि सपोज मैंने मेरा बाइक रिपेयर करने के लिए दिया था और जो मैकेनिक मुझे बोला था कि आज शाम को आप आकर ले जाना, लेकिन शाम को मैं फोन किया उसको कि अरे भाई मैं कहीं बाहर आ गया तो अभी मैं डिलीवरी नहीं ले सकता हूँ, एक काम करो मैं कल ले लूंगा. That means for this extra period, if that person will take certain extra expenses to keep your bike in safe, then he can recover it from you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now we'll go to the next point. That I think this is the last point. Okay. So it is the duty of the bailer to bear the risk of loss, deterioration, and destruction of the things bailed, provided that the bailee has taken reasonable care to protect the goods from loss. अभी देखो क्या हो रहा है. If you have given the goods to the bailee then the actual ownership lies with you. And if the belly has taken all the reasonable care to for the safety of your goods, but still the your good will be what it will be lost or it will be destroyed, then who will be responsible for that? Then who will be responsible for that? Whether the belly or the beller?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Now
Beller.
tell. Yes, obviously the beller will bear the risk of loss, deterioration, and destruction of the things built. But one thing is that provided that the belly has taken reasonable care to protect the goods from the loss. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
That means we have covered all the points, that is your duties of the beller. Now we'll discuss the duties of the belly. Okay. The first point is that the belly should take reasonable care of the goods which are in his possession, and the degree of care required by the belly is similar to that of a man of ordinary prudence would take of his own goods under the similar circumstances. And if he has taken such care, then he is not liable even if the goods are lost or damaged.
ଆମ ଅଫିସରେ କରିବ ନା ଡିଭିଜନ ଅଫିସରେ କରିବ?
Sorry, there is certain disturbance in the class.
ଦେଇକି ତମ ଡିଭିଜନ ଅଫିସ କେତେବେଳେ 11ଟା ବେଳକୁ ଯିବ ନା 11:30 ବେଳକୁ?
Hello?
ହଉ ଠିକ ଅଛି।
କିନ୍ତୁ ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦିଅ ଟିକେ, ମ୍ୟୁଟ୍ କରିଦିଅ।
Okay. So,
sorry for the interruption. Sir, ये जो point गुड़ा आपने लिखिचंदी,
yes.
किसी short abbreviation अच्छी ना नहीं हमें मने करो 5टा point हैला हमें ताकि केमदी मन रखियो आपण explain करिया लगी लिखिचंदी that is well and good, very good माने इटा हम लगी easy कर दे जंदी किंतु एग्जाम रे मन करो ओटे 2 मार्क के क्वेश्चन आछि,
very good,
सेठी 10 मार्क के आंसर लिखिबी रचना।
हाँ. At that time, what you can do, you can write the first sentence. Okay. The first sentence you see in the first one, the belly should take reasonable care of the goods which are in his possession. That is the point. Okay. Here you can write this point only.
ताला की technical term की आपण management term किसी नहीं।
No, actually, there is no technical word. That is why, if it is possible, then I would make it a point.
Okay, sir, got it.
Okay, short point. I would make it a short point. Otherwise, it is a point. But it is a small sentence instead of one word or two word like that. Okay, which you recare actually.
Okay,
I
sir.
know. But the thing is that in the law, certain expressions are there which is not possible to express in a single word or two words. Right? That is why these are the small sentence. That means here you can remember the first sentence only. The belly should take reasonable care of the goods which are in his possession. Okay. And the second point is that the belly should not use the goods for an unauthorized purpose. That means for the purpose for which the goods has been billed to him, accordingly he should use the goods, and he should not use the goods for an authorized purpose. But if it is found that the goods has been used for any unauthorized use, then whatever the charges and required, then he is supposed to pay that. And if due to that any loss or anything happened to the goods, then he is supposed to indemnify that. Right? And the beller may also terminate the contract of the bailment due to this. Yes?
Sir, जी बेली यूज से गुरुस्टा यूज करने करे मुकिम जानी भी मोटरसाइकिल टा आनी नहीं किंतु से तारा रात्रि तारा कला ये यूज कला चलेला तारा मुकिम जानी से तारा
You see what will happen whenever there will be any contradiction. If everything is okay, then no issue. But whenever there will be any issue, then what both the parties, they will go to the court of law. That means the bailor will sue the belly, in the court of law, and here the bailor will prove that the belly has used the goods for unauthorized purpose.
आराम से बस 9:50 ରେ
ଯେମିତି ସାର୍ ଯୋଉ ଗାଡିଟା ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଦେଇଛି ସିଏ ତାର ରାତିରେ ନେଇ
ମଣିଷ
ଗାଡିରେ
ପିଲା ତୁ।
ମଦର
7:25 ରୁ
କଲା
ଗେଟ୍
ଗାଡି
ବନ୍ଦ ହବ,
ଧରା
7:35
ପଡିଲା
ଦେଇଛୁ ହେଲେ।
ପୋଲିସ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
हाँ
ଆଉ ଯେମିତି ଗାଡିଟା ମୁଁ ଦେଇଛି ଗ୍ୟାରେଜରେ ଗ୍ୟାରେଜ କଣ କଲା ନା ଗାଡିଟା ସଜାଡିକି ସେ ସେଥିରେ ମଦ ଫଦ ନେଇକି ରାତିରେ ବିକାବିକି ଗଲା ତ ପୋଲିସ ତାକୁ ଧରିଲେ ସେଠି ଅନଅଥରାଇଜ ୟୁଜ ହେଲା ସେଇଠି ଗାଡିଟା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଧରିବ ସେ ଏକ୍ସପେନ୍ସେସ୍ ଯାହା ବି ହବ ସେ ବେୟାର କରିବ
बस
ଆଜ୍ଞା
okay.
Okay.
Okay, come to the third point. This third point, for your betterment, I have divided it into small parts. If the belly, with the consent of the bailor, mixes the goods. Now regarding the mixing of the goods of the bailor and the yes,
Slide টা দুশো।
okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This third point, actually, it is one point, but I have divided this point into small parts for your easiness. Here you see, if the belly, with the consent of the bailor, mixes the goods of the bailor with his own goods, then the bailor and the belly shall have an interest in proportion to their respective share in the mixture thus produced. Okay, समझ में आ रहा है? That means suppose both are that is bailor and a belly, they are dealing in same goods, and whatever the goods of the bailor that has been mixed with the goods of the belly, but it is with the consent of the bailor. But it is within the consent of the bailor. Then what will happen? How these goods will be proportioned between them? So here you see the bailor and the belly shall have an interest in a proportion to their respective shares. For example, suppose the bailor has 60%, the belly has 40%, like that. Okay, that means ये जो मिक्सचर बनेगा ये मिक्सचर से उनका प्रोपोर्शन ऐसा ही रहेगा. But if the belly, without the consent of the bailor, mixes the goods of the bailor with his own goods, and the goods can be separated or divided, then the property in the goods remains in the parties respectively. How? But the belly is bound to bear the expenses of separation or division and any damages arising from the mixture. Okay, able to understand? Here you see, if the belly, without the consent of the bailor, mixes the goods of the bailor with his own goods, and the goods can be separated or divided. Here you see the property in the goods remains in the parties respectively. That means whatever exact share of bailor, that will remain intact, and whatever the share of the belly, that will remain intact, because the goods are separable. Okay. But here you see the expenses of separation or division or any damage due to that shall be borne by the belly. In another case, if the belly, without the consent of the bailor, mixes the goods of the bailor with his own goods in such a manner that it is impossible to separate the goods bailed from the other goods, deliver them back. So it was held that the bailor was entitled to refuse to take the delivery and claim compensation for the loss or damage. In this case particularly, if the goods are mixed without the consent of the bailor with the goods of the belly, and it is not possible to separate the goods, then the bailor is entitled to refuse to take the delivery of a good, and he can claim the compensation for the loss or damage. Is that clear? Third point पूरा समझ में आ गया?
yes sir.
Okay. Let's go to the next point. Here you see, the belly must return the goods without waiting for a demand from bailor. इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि whenever the bailor has bailed the goods to belly, he must have specified the time or the purpose for which it has been made, if the purpose is over, then without waiting for the demand from the bailor, the bailey should immediately what? Return the goods. The time specified in the contract has expired on the purpose specified in the contract is accomplished. You understand? The time specified in the contract has expired. Suppose टाइम दिया था आपने कि 10 बजे ये ले जाना, तो 10 बज गया तो यू आर सपोज टू रिटर्न द गुड्स. और एक पर्पज के लिए दिया था, जैसे कि फॉर रिपेयर ऑफ द बाइक, देन बाइक रिपेयर खत्म होने के बाद इमीडिएटली रिटर्न कर देना चाहिए. But if the goods are not returned, then the goods shall be at the risk of the bailey. If the time has expired or the purpose already fulfilled, and if it will be delayed by the bailey, then the bailey shall be responsible for this, and the bailey shall be liable for any loss or damage, even if such loss is caused without any fault or negligence of the bailey, or due to an act of nature or other unavoidable reason. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next point, in the absence of any contract to the contrary, the bailey is bound to return any extra profit occurred from the goods billed. That means whatever the goods billed by the bailey, except for that specific reason, or without his knowledge, or by any means, if the bailey has extracted certain profit out of the goods billed to the bailey, then it is his duty to return that amount, that extra amount to the
But in
bailey.
the absence of any contract means there is no contract.
In the absence of any contract to the contrary, that means what? Suppose if you have given your bike for repair to Mr. X, and you have also contracted that after repair of this bike, you can give this bike to A, and A will use this bike for 1 day, and then he will return to you and he will pay you 1000 rupees for that. So that means there is a contract. If this contract will not be there, if there will be no contract, but the bailey has used for any other purpose, or by that earn certain profit, then it is the duty of the bailey to return that goods. But if there will be any contract to the contrary, then the bailor, as per the direction of the bailor, the contract should be performed. समझ में आ गया ना नहीं?
हाँ.
Okay. And the last point.
Yeah.
And the last point.
Sir,
Yes.
whether the contract is in force unless and until the goods are delivered by the bailey.
Obviously can be enforced. Now what has happened? That means simultaneously there will be more than one contract. That means your first contract is made between the bailor and the bailey for the purpose of repair of the bike, and the second contract is that after repair to give the bike to A for 1 day, and for that you will give 1000 rupees. That means along with 1000 rupees, after 1 day, the mechanic should return this bike as well as 1000 rupees to the bailor. That means there is a contract to the contrary. But if there is any absence of any contract to the contrary, then the bailey is bound to return any extra profit which is occurred from the goods billed. अगर कुछ ऐसा कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं हुआ, लेकिन जो मैकेनिक है वो रिपेयर कर दिया, उसके बाद उसको और किसी को दे दिया 1 दिन के लिए, और वो 1000 रुपीज दिया, and whenever it is discovered or it is found that it is his duty, that is bailey's duty, to return this extra profit occurred from the goods belt to the baler. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and another point, that is the last point, the bailee must not do any act which is inconsistent with the title of the bailer. That means he must not set up his own title or a third party's title on the goods billed to him. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है? The goods जो बेल हुआ है उसका जो ओनरशिप है, तो ओनरशिप के साथ कुछ भी छेड़छाड़ नहीं करना है by the bailee. If the bailee is doing like that, that means और किसी को बताएगा कि भाई ये बाइक मेरा है, आप इसको यूज कर सकते हो एक दिन के लिए, आप किसी भी पर्पज के लिए यूज कर सकते हो. So that means here what he is doing something inconsistent with the title of the baler. अब बेलर का टाइटल के साथ अगर वो कुछ छेड़छाड़ करता है तो that is punishable according to the law. Okay. Now we'll discuss another thing, that is duties of a finder of a goods. As you know, there is no contract between the finder of the goods and the person whose goods have been lost. But as per the operation of the law, certain duties already arise of a finder of a good. That means whenever you are finding certain goods, certain duties and responsibilities automatically conferred upon you. So what are these duties? Let us discuss. The first important point is to take care of the goods billed. इसका मतलब जो goods आपको मिला है उसका केयर लेना है. सपोज आप देखें कि किसी का एक पालतू कुत्ता रास्ता में चला आया, तो आप इंक्वायरी किए लेकिन आपको पता नहीं हुआ कि भाई ये किसी का है. तो अभी आपका ड्यूटी क्या बनता है कि इसी कुत्ते को घर ले जाओगे और उसका केयर लोगे ठीक से. ओके, टू टेक केयर ऑफ द गुड्स बेल्ट. ये फर्स्ट पॉइंट हो जाता है. सेकेंड पॉइंट, नॉट टू मेक अनऑथराइज यूज ऑफ द गुड्स. इसका मतलब आप अगर चाहोगे तो ये कुत्ता को कोई दूसरे को कुछ बेच सकते हो, ये कुत्ता को किसी को हायर कर सकते हो फॉर एनी अदर पर्पज फॉर 1 day और 2 day, लेकिन ये नहीं करोगे. नॉट टू मेक अनऑथराइज यूज ऑफ गुड. इसका मतलब जो यूज ऑथराइज नहीं है, यू शुड नॉट डू एनी एक्ट लाइक दैट.
फाइंडर मीन्स बेलर बेली छाड़ीगिरी जहाँ मिलिବ ସିଏ ତ फाइंडर.
ବାସ୍ ବାସ୍, ଏଇଟା ବେଲର ବେଲି କଥା ଛାଡି ଦିଅ, ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଫାଇଣ୍ଡର ଅଫ ଦ ଗୁଡ୍ସ. So whenever you are finding certain goods, that means you are automatically become a belly. समझ में आ रहा है? तो आप ऑटोमेटिकली बेली हो जाते हो. और ये जो अकॉर्डिंग टू द लॉ कुछ ड्यूटीज आपका बन जाता है. ये क्या क्या ड्यूटीज बन जाता है वही डिस्कशन कर रहा हूँ. ओके, तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट था टू टेक केयर ऑफ द गुड्स बेल्ट, ये सेक्शन 151 में आता है. सेकेंड, नॉट टू मेक अनऑथराइज यूज ऑफ गुड्स, जो कि आपको समझा दिया, ये सेक्शन 154 में आता है. थर्ड थिंग, नॉट टू मिक्स बेलर्स गुड विथ हिज ओन. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? इफ द बेलर हैज, दैट मीन्स जो फाइंडर ऑफ द गुड्स, फाइंडर ऑफ गुड्स का अगर सेम गुड्स है तो ही शुड नॉट मिक्स अप with these goods along with his own goods. Okay.
ओके.
ये आता है आपका सेक्शन 155 से 157 तक. तो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट होता है टू रिटर्न द गुड्स बेल्ट विदाउट डिमांड. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है? इफ यू आर फाइंडिंग एनी गुड्स, then you should not wait till the person will demand you. Rather, you should take any attempt, or you should take the attempt to find the person and to give the goods to him, or to return the goods to him. That is also coming under section 160. Then another 2 points are there. To return any assertion to the goods belt. to return any assertion of the goods billed means if you have made any profit out of the goods, suppose जो कुछ प्रोडक्ट चीज आपको मिला है, जो कुछ चीज आपको मिला है उससे अगर आप कुछ प्रॉफिट किए हो, then along with these goods you are supposed to refund that. That is coming under section 163. And the last point, that is not to question the title of the bailor. So in case of a conflicting claim as to title to the goods are to be decided by the court, and unless the court grants an injunction against the delivery of the goods to the bailee is under duty to return it to the bailor at the proper time or within the reasonable time. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि अगर आपको कुछ चीज मिलता है, you are making a search and you are finding who is the owner, and it is your duty to return the goods. But if there will be any conflict regarding the ownership or regarding the title of the goods, then the party can go to the court of law and they will prove that they will the owner of the goods and you are supposed to return the goods. But it is not duty of the bailee to ask a question of the title of the bailor, right? So यहाँ पर खत्म हो जाता है आपका जो होता है duties of the finder of the goods. Now we'll discuss regarding the rights of a bailee. Okay. So first right of the bailee is to deliver the goods to any one of the joint bailor. Joint bailor का मतलब क्या होता है? Whenever more than one person are bailors. Okay. This is coming under section 165. If several or joint owners bail the goods, then the bailee has a right to deliver them to any one of the joint owners, unless there was a contract to the contrary. इसका मतलब अगर कुछ मेंशन हुआ, सपोज ए बी सी 3 आदमी जाकर एक बाइक को रिपेयर करने के लिए दिया है जेड को, अभी जेड को बताए कि भाई ये खत्म होने के बाद, रिपेयर खत्म होने के बाद यू शुड रिटर्न इट टू द ए. दैट मीन्स देयर इज ए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टू द कंट्रारी. अगर कुछ ऐसा कुछ नहीं बताया, ओनली रिपेयर के लिए बताया दिया, तो ए बी सी तीनों में से किसी एक को वो दे सकता है एंड ही विल टेक हिज रिपेयर चार्जेस. ठीक है. तो सेकंड पॉइंट में जाए, राइट टू इंडेमनिटी. So bailee is entitled to be indemnified by the bailor for any loss arising to him by reason that the bailor was not entitled to make the bailment or to receive back the goods or give direction in respect of them. Okay, that means if whatever the goods bailed to the bailee.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, first point टा टिके आउ थरे कह देम.
Okay. The first one, that is right to deliver the goods to any one of the joint bailor. That means suppose you see more than one person bailed a particular good for any particular purpose. I am giving the example. Suppose A, B, C, 3 persons, they are giving a bike to repair to Z. Okay. Then after repair, it is the duty of the Z to return the bike to any one of A, B, C, unless there is a contract to the contrary. That means if they have told that after repair you should return the bike to A, then only he will return to A. Otherwise, to any one of ABC, he can return the goods. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And the second one, that is the right to indemnify. Here you see, bailee is entitled to be indemnified by the bailor for any loss which is arising to him by reason that the bailor was not entitled to make the bailment or to receive back the goods or to give directions in respect of them. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है? जो goods bailed हुआ है to the bailee, if the bailor has not told any regarding the use of the goods, if he has not given proper instruction, due to that the bailee sustained any loss. Okay. और regarding suppose जैसे कि सपोज ठीक टाइम पे रिटर्न नहीं लिया तो उसके लिए अगर कुछ लॉस हुआ, और गिविंग एनी डायरेक्शन, कुछ डायरेक्शन दिया और उसी डायरेक्शन के वजह से द बेलर हैज गिवन एनी डायरेक्शन फॉर व्हिच द बेली हैज इनकर्ड लॉस, देन इट इज व्हाट, इट इज द राइट टू इंडेमनिफाई. इंडेमनिफाई इसका मतलब क्या होगा? द बेलर विल पे हिम. ओके.
Sir, baler will pay to belly or belly will pay to baler?
No. Baler will pay to the belly.
Okay.
Why? Because here you see whatever the loss is sustained by the belly, this is due to the fault of the baler. क्योंकि सपोज बेलर दिया है, सपोज वो बाइक दिया है रिपेयर करने के लिए, बाइक का ब्रेक नहीं है और वो बताया नहीं मैकेनिक को, तो मैकेनिक लेके बाइक जब जा रहा था किसी को किसने उसको ठोक दिया, तो अभी ये फॉल्ट किसका है? ये बेलर का फॉल्ट है. फॉर दैट ही शुड पे टू द बेली. ओके. और क्या हो रहा है कि जैसे कि टाइमली डिलीवरी के लिए मैं जो एग्जांपल दिया था, आपने बताया था उसको भाई शाम को देना, और शाम को फोन किया भाई मैं बाहर चला आया, मैं अभी तो मैं नहीं ले सकता, एक काम करो कल मैं ले लेता हूँ. लेकिन सपोज उस फॉर कीपिंग योर गुड्स इन सेफ कस्टडी यू हैड सस्टेन सर्टेन लॉस or bear any extra expenditure, then you are supposed to pay for that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next point, right to claim compensation in case of a faulty goods. अब right to claim compensation means what? Suppose आपको जो बेलर दिया है गुड्स, लेकिन वो गुड्स कुछ गुड्स में कुछ फल्टी है, and due to that the belly has sustained any loss, then right to claim compensation. He can also claim the compensation regarding the use of these faulty goods. Another right to claim extraordinary expenses. Extraordinary expenses का मतलब भी बता दिया था, जैसे कि सपोज आप एक कुत्ता दिए सपोज एक ट्रेनर को, तो इसका मतलब कुत्ता का जो नॉर्मल एक्सपेंडिचर वो सब इंक्लूडेड है उसके चार्जेस में, लेकिन आपका कुत्ता का तबीयत खराब हो गया, उसको कोई डॉक्टर के पास लेकर गया, डॉक्टर चार्जेस किया 500 रुपीज, तो ये एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी एक्सपेंसेस बन जाता है. तो दिस एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी एक्सपेंसेस ही हैज अ राइट टू क्लेम. राइट.
Okay, sir.
Another point, that is the last point I think. No, another point is also there. Okay. Right to apply to the court to decide the title to the goods. अभी क्या हो रहा है? Suppose you have billed the goods to the belly, and whenever this good is in possession of the belly, at the same time another person is coming to him and telling that I am the owner of these goods, you give this good to me. So now he cannot decide anything. For that purpose he will go to the court of law, and whatever the expenses he will bear for that, the bailor is supposed to give back. So that means the belly has a right to apply to the court to decide the title of the goods whenever there will be any confusion.
Okay.
Okay, another 2 points are not right of a particular lien for payment of services. This is not necessary. So don't go through so much detail.
Okay.
Now we'll discuss the right of a bailor. Rights of a bailor we'll discuss. Right.
Okay.
So first point is that right to terminate the bailment. It is coming under section 153. Here you see the bailor has a right to terminate the contract. That means a contract of bailment is voidable at the option of the bailor. इसका मतलब कभी भी ये voidable हो सकता है by the option of the bailor. If the bailee does any act with regard to the goods bailed or inconsistent with the condition of the bailment. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है? For which purpose the goods has been given to the bailee, if the bailee has done any act which is inconsistent with the condition of the bailment, then at any time by the option of the bailor it can be terminated. Okay, that means it will be declared voidable, as that means it can be revoked at any time. Clear?
Okay.
Another is premature termination. ये होता है सेक्शन 159 में. तो ये क्या बताता है कि when the goods are in gratuitously, इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि जब ये gratuitous होता है bailment, the bailor can demand back the goods at any time, even before the expiry of the time which is fixed or the achievement of the object. यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ so that you will better understand this. Tipsy, while going out of a station, delivered her pearl ornament to Sophie for safe custody for 1 month. But Tipsy returned to station after 1 week. So she may demand the return of her ornaments even though the time of 1 month has not expired. Right? समझ में आ गया? अगर ये gratuitous bailment होता है तो gratuitous bailment में क्या होता है? प्रीमैच्योर टर्मिनेशन हो सकता है कभी भी.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now we will discuss regarding the termination of the bailment. तो ये bailment कैसे खत्म होता है? First part, on the expiry of the stipulated period. जो टाइम पीरियड मेंशन हुआ है, जो बेलमेंट का जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उसमें जो टाइम पीरियड मेंशन होता है, इफ द टाइम पीरियड इज ओवर देन on the expiry of the stipulated time period the bailment will be terminated. Second point, on the accomplishment of the specified purpose. इसका मतलब जो पर्पज के लिए बेलमेंट हुआ था, if the purpose is over then the bailment will be terminated. Third, a gratuitous bailment may be terminated at any time, which already I told you.
ସାର୍
Yes.
ସାର୍ ମୁଁ କଣ କହୁଥିଲି କି ରେଲୱେରେ ଯେମିତି ୱାର୍କସ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ଦିଆଯାଏ ରିପେୟାରେବଲ ପାଇଁ, ତ ସେଇଟା କଣ ୱାନ୍ ଟାଇପ ଅଫ ବେଲମେଣ୍ଟ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ?
ନାଇଁ, ୱାର୍କସ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ମାନେ ତା ସହିତ କିଛି ମାନେ ଜିନିଷ ଦିଆଯାଏ କି?
ୟେସ୍ ସାର୍, ୟେସ୍ ସାର୍.
ଯଦି କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଦିଆଗଲା, ଫର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ସପୋଜ ରେଲୱେ ବାଲା ତମକୁ ଦେଲେ କପଡା ଦେଲେ, କହିଲେ ଏ କପଡାକୁ କାଟିକିରି ତମେ ଇଏ କରିବ, ପିଲୋ କଭର କରିବ, ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍କସ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ହେଲା. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତ? ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍କ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ହେଲା. ସେଥିରେ କଣ ରହିବ? ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇମ ପିରିୟଡ ରହିବ. ସପୋଜ ଗୋଟେ ମାସ ଟାଇମ ଦେଲେ, ଗୋଟେ ମାସ ଭିତରେ ତମକୁ 1000 ପିସ୍ ତମେ ପିଲୋ କଭର କରିକିରି ଦବ. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କଣ ହେଲା ଯେ ଟାଇମ ପିରିୟଡ ଖତମ ହେଇଗଲା, ତାମାନେ ଏଇଠି ସେଟା ଟର୍ମିନେଟେଡ ହେଇଯାଇପାରିବ. ଯଦି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଇଏ ସେ ଟାଇମ
ସାର୍ ସବୁ ଯାହାବି କିଛି ଥିବ ତାଙ୍କର ଧର କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟି ହଉ କି ରିପେୟାରେବଲ ଟାଇମ ପିରିୟଡ ହଉ, ସେ ତ ଓଭର ହେଲେ ତ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ଓଭର ହେଇଯିବ. ମୁଁ ମୋର କହିବା କଥା ଯେ ସାର୍, ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ୱାର୍କସ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ବା ଲେବର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ, ଆମର ଯଦି ଖାଲି ରିପେୟାରେବଲ ପାଇଁ ଲେବର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ଦିଆଯାଉଛି, ସେଇଟା କଣ ବେଲମେଣ୍ଟ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ?
ଯଦି ମାନେ ମୁଁ କହିବା କଥା, if any goods is what are related to that, ଯଦି କିଛି ଗୁଡ୍ସ ରହୁଛି ତା ଭିତରେ, ତେବେ ସେଇଟା ବେଲମେଣ୍ଟ ହବ. କିନ୍ତୁ ଯଦି ଗୁଡ୍ସ କିଛି ନ ରହୁଛି, ଆମେ ଲେବର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କହିବା, ତାମାନେ ସେଥିରେ ଗୁଡ୍ସ କିଛି ରହୁନି. ଯଦି ଗୁଡ୍ସ ଟା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯାଇକି ରହୁଛି ଅନ୍ୟ ପର୍ସନ ପାଖରେ, ତେବେ ଯାଇକି ସେଟା ହବ ତମର ବେଲମେଣ୍ଟ. ଯଦି ଏଥିରେ ଗୁଡ୍ସ କିଛି ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ ନାହିଁ, ତେବେ ଏଇଟା ତମର ବେଲମେଣ୍ଟ କାହିଁକି ହବ?
ଓକେ ସାର୍, ଓକେ ସାର୍.
ମୁଁ ଯେମିତି ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଦେଲି, ସପୋଜ ରେଲୱେ କମ୍ପାନୀ ତମକୁ କପଡା ଦେଲା, କହିଲା ମତେ ଗୋଟେ ମାସ ଭିତରେ 1000 ପିସ୍ ପିଲୋ କଭର କରିକି ଦବ, ତ ସେଇଟା ହେଇଯିବ ତମର ବେଲମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଯିବ. ଓକେ, ଏଥିରେ କଣ କିଛି ସେଥିପାଇଁ କିଛି ଚାର୍ଜ ରହିବ, ଗ୍ରାଚୁଇଟିୟସ୍ ବି ନୁହେଁ.
ଓକେ ସାର୍, ଓକେ.
ଓକେ, ତାପରେ ଦେଖିବା ଯୋଉଟା ଆମେ କହିଥିଲେ, ବାଇ ଦ ବେଲିଜ ଆକ୍ଟ ଇନକନସିଷ୍ଟେଣ୍ଟ ୱିଥ ଦ କଣ୍ଡିସନ ଅଫ ଦ ବେଲମେଣ୍ଟ. ତାର ଅର୍ଥ କଣ ହଉଛି? जो बेलमेंट कंडीशन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हितला से कॉन्ट्रैक्टर जदि कौनसी कंडीशन को जदि कॉन्ट्रावेन करूची बेली तेबे immediately it can be terminated. If the belly does any act with regards to the goods billed inconsistent with the condition of the bailment, the bailer may terminate the bailment at any time, which is coming under section 153. I have already discussed. And the last point is that a gratuitous bailment may be terminated at any time. This also I have discussed under section 159. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So already we have discussed everything regarding the bailment and the time. Another 15 minutes is there, so I am putting another PPT. That means the law of
सर लास्ट पॉइंट authority के
that gratuitous bailment. Gratuitous bailment का मतलब क्या होता है? जो bailment में आपका कुछ कंसिडरेशन नहीं होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे कि that example, the same example which I had given already. Suppose Tipsy out of station. Tipsy is out of station for 1 month, and when he went out station, he given her friend her jewelry for 1 month. But Tipsy returned to the station just after 1 week. Then after her return, now she can claim the goods. है ना?
हाँ सर.
समझ में आया कि अभी देखो मैं सपोज कहीं बाहर गया, आउट ऑफ स्टेशन हो गया और मेरा कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट्स या कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट जैसे कि गोल्ड ऑर्नामेंट्स और ज्वेलरी था, तो मेरा एक दोस्त है तो उसको मैं दे दिया. भाई बोला कि भाई 1 महीने के लिए मैं बाहर जा रहा हूँ और आप इसका ख्याल रखना. तो अभी क्या हुआ, 1 महीना छोड़ो, मैं 1 वीक में रिटर्न आ गया. तो व्हेन आई केम रिटर्न देन आई कैन आस्क एट एनी टाइम. तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है, ग्रेचुइटियस बेलमेंट कभी भी टर्मिनेटेड हो सकता है. ओके
सर ये टर्मिनेट हैला ना टी डिलीवरी हैला सर टी.
हाँ वही इसका मतलब
दे देला सर टर्मिनेट हैला निश्चित तो रिटर्न हो गला.
देखो मैं बताता हूँ क्या हो रहा है. यहाँ पर जो
टर्मिनेट हैला ना,
यहाँ पर जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था 1 मंथ के लिए. समझ में आ रहा है?
हाँ सर आगे
मैं एक महीने के लिए बाहर जा रहा हूँ, 1 महीने के लिए आप मेरा गुड्स रखो. तो अभी मैंने
यस सर.
हाँ, so before the period, that means the performance of the contract.
Completion of the period, sir.
हाँ,
तो goods are delivered before the expiry of the contract, so it is a gratuitous bailment.
तो देखो ग्रेचुइटियस बेलमेंट जो होता है, ग्रेचुइटियस बेलमेंट में भी टाइम पीरियड के खत्म होने के बाद कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टर्मिनेट होता है. ठीक. तो यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है कि टाइम पीरियड खत्म नहीं हुआ, उससे पहले भी कभी भी ये टर्मिनेट हो सकता है.
इसमें एक्सटेंशन का कुछ प्रोविजन नहीं है कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्सटेंशन भी हो सकता है, टाइम पीरियड या क्वांटिटी या कुछ ऐसे कुछ नहीं है?
हाँ, हालांकि देखो जो ग्रेचुइटियस बेलमेंट होता है, ग्रेचुइटियस बेलमेंट कैन बी एक्सटेंडेबल, लेकिन अगर वो हद पार कर लिया, क्योंकि जो दिया था वो बोलेगा कि भाई क्यों, मैं तो आपको दिया था मेरा गुड्स, मैं तो अभी चलाया, आपको देने में क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रहा है. तो if certain doubt and suspicion will come into his mind, then he may go for the legal action. समझ में आ रहा है ना?
ओके सर.
Okay. So shall we go for another PPT, because already this PPT is completed.
Yes sir.
Yes sir. ठीक है क्वेश्चन टिके करंतु ये जो बेलमेंट ऊपर जो पढ़ेले सेटा टिके माने शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन कोन होबो टिके करंतु डिस्कशन नेक्स्ट आरंभ करिया.
ओके ठीक है. जस्ट a minute. Okay. Let us discuss a few objective questions. An example of a bailment with a contract. Option A, give a vehicle in a workshop for repair, giving something in courier, finder of the lost goods. None of these, which is an example of a bailment without a contract.
अरे ये होगा
कौन सा होगा? Which one is an example of a bailment without a contract? Option A, giving a vehicle in the workshop for repair. Second thing, giving something in courier. Third thing, finder of the lost goods. And last वाला option होता है none of these. Which one is correct?
सर फाइंडर ऑफ द लॉस्ट
Very good. Finder of the lost.
First one.
Okay.
First vehicle for repair.
Okay. What option A? Giving vehicle in a workshop for repair.
सर ऑप्शन सी होगा
Option C is the correct option.
Finder.
Option C
Question
is the
টা
correct. That is the finder of the lost good. Okay. The second question. A finder of a goods is option A, entitled to retain the goods. Option B, entitled to claim compensation when specific reward is offered. Option C, not entitled to claim compensation and thus not entitled to retain the goods. Option D, both A and B. Yes, yes.
Sir, D टा हो sir.
Again,
Both A. D, both A and B.
are you sure?
क्वेश्चन
ଆଉ ଥରେ ରିପିଟ୍ କରିବେ ଟିକେ question.
Okay. A finder of the goods is option A, entitled to retain the goods. Option B, entitled to claim compensation when specific reward is offered. Option C, not entitled to claim compensation and thus not entitled to retain the goods. Option D, both A and B.
सर ऑप्शन सी होगा
Option C होगा.
Sir, both A and B.
Yes, it will be both A and B. Why? A finder of the goods is entitled to retain the goods. इसका मतलब वो goods को retain करेगा. And second thing, if some specific reward is offered, then he is also entitled to get that. अभी suppose मैं example now you see, please be silent. Please be silent. Just listen to me. Suppose
Dhamnagar babu.
Please be attentive. Don't make disturbance in the class, otherwise I am not able to discuss the question.
Mute all कर दियो sir. Sir, mute all कर दियो.
म्यूटल करले डिस्कशन करी हबनी किछि से भी प्रॉब्लम
सर पार्टिसिपेंट जे डिस्टर्ब करजोती से तांको नाम ऊपर क्लिक
हां
करले
पर्टिकुलर
म्यूट करे देखो
हां
It is not possible to know actually who are disturbing.
सर
Okay. Suppose I am giving
Sir,
you
आपण कंटिन्यू करंतु.
Okay. Suppose I am giving you the example that suppose my dog has been lost. Okay, my dog has been lost, and I have made a specific reward that whoever will find the dog will be entitled to 10,000 rupees. Now, suppose you have find my dog and I written that, and whenever you came to know that I have declared a reward, then you bring this to me. Then you are entitled to claim this reward, and you can also retain the goods. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir, next, please is there. Please is there in the.
Okay. So let us discuss few subjective questions because I think you people are losing interest in that question.
ये भाई ये धामनगर किए
ଫୁଲ ନମ୍ବର ଆଶୁତୋଷ ପଣ୍ଡା ଇଏ ଦି ଜଣ ଅଧିକାଂଶ ଟାଇମ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି।
ଆରେ ଭାଇ
ଆଶୁତୋଷ
କାଇଁ
ପଣ୍ଡା ମୋ ଭାଇ
ନକରିକି
ମୁଁ କାହିଁ କଲ୍ କରୁଛି?
ଆଚ୍ଛା
କାଇଁ
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା
ନକରିକି
ଆପଣ ଅନ୍
ନକରିକି
ଅଛନ୍ତି,
ଆପଣ ହଉଛନ୍ତି?
ଆପଣ ବି ଅନ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି ନା ସାର୍ ଡିସ୍କସନ କଲା ବେଳେ ଅନ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି।
ମୁଁ ଅନ୍ କରି ପଚାରୁଛି ସାରଙ୍କୁ ନା, କହିଲି ମ୍ୟୁଟ ଚାଲୁ କରନ୍ତୁ ବୋଲି, ନା ମୁଁ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ କଲି?
Okay. Please stop all these discussions. Just note down certain important questions. Discuss the rights and duties of the bailee in detail, and discuss rights and duties of the bailer in detail. These are the two important questions. Whatever I have discussed from this, these are the two important questions, and there are chances that you might face any one of them in your exam. Okay.
Sir, question ଟିକେ repeat କରିବେ slowly.
Discuss the rights and duties of the bailee in detail. Another, discuss the rights and duties of the bailer in detail.
ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ question ନା ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା?
No, these are the two questions because rights and duties बहुत कुछ हो जाता है ना.
Yes sir.
Okay.
सर ये क्वेश्चन तो 1000 वर्ड ना 1000 वर्ड वाला.
Yes, 1000 words.
ଏଟା କେତେ ମାର୍କ sir question ଟା?
ଏଟା ତ ତମର
12 mark.
12 mark.
हाँ 12
question. You are supposed to
second question ଟା repeat କରିବେ sir.
Discuss the rights and the duties of a bailer in detail. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So
sir ଟିକେ sir.
Yes.
sir ଆମେ question ଲେଖିକି ଆମେ answer ଟା ଲେଖିକି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ share କରିପାରିବୁ ତ ଆପଣ କିଛି ଦେଖିକି ଯେ ଆମର କିଛି changes ଦରକାର କି କିଛି ଟିକେ କଣ କରିବେ suggest କରିପାରିବେ କି କଣ better ଲେଖିପାରିବୁ କୋଉଠି କଣ ଭୁଲ ରହୁଛି କି କଣ?
You can send me in WhatsApp and I'll reply.
Sure, sir.
Right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. So I think time already over. So
Sir,
another
your WhatsApp number, please.
99380
Okay, sir.
99380 76764.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So another teacher already entered the class.
Thank you, sir.
ସାର୍ ଏଥିରେ ଚାପ୍ଟରରେ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ ଟା ରହିଲା।
ନାଇଁ ସେଟା actually element and place ସେ same ଜିନିଷ। place କେମିତି କିଛି ଅଲଗା ଜିନିଷ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ? ଯେତେବେଳେ place ହଉଛି କେମିତି ମାନେ suppose ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ loan ନଉଛେ bank ରୁ ତେବେ ଆମେ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ property ଟାକୁ ସେଠି place କରୁଛେ ତ ସେଇ same ମାନେ ଏଠି ସେଇ bailment ର terms ଇଏ ରହୁଛି କେବଳ ଏଠି specific time period ରହୁଛି ଆଉ କଣ? Only
Sir,
specific
please bailment ଦିଟାକ ଅଲଗା same.
Yes.
bailment please ଦିଟାକ same ଜିନିଷ।
Bailment and place both are same thing. Both are same thing. Bailment and place both are same thing. But you see when
এই ବେସିନ ମିରର ଭିତରେ ଦେଖିଲୁ
ସାର୍ ଟିକେ ମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିକି କୁହନ୍ତୁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଏ ଧାମକ ବହୁତ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ କରୁଛି।
ओके सर आउ किछि डिस्कशन थिला नले नेक्स्ट टीचर जॉइन करलेनी
Good morning, everyone. Is my screen visible to all? Okay, is my screen visible to all?
सर मु एक्चुअली म्यूट ऑल कर देइथिली तो पिला माने पार्टी करथले आपण होस्ट अछंती आपण जदि अनम्यूट करियो चाहिबे कर देबे ना मु होस्ट हेकिना कर देबे
मैडम ମୁଁ ତ ମାନେ ଜାଣିନି କୋଉଠି ହବ
ତାହେଲେ
ଆପଣ
ମତେ
ତାକୁ ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବୁ
मते टिके ताले होस्ट कर दियनु मु आपण को होस्ट कर देछि
କେମିତି କରିବ ସେଇଟା ମ୍ୟାଡମ
होस्ट सर पिला
मैडम
को अनम्यूट कर देछि
मैडम
अनम्यूट कर देछि आज्ञा
मैडम जोवन टिके डिस्टर्ब करछन तांको पाखु टिके दियंतु मेल किबा व्हाट्सएप करंतु नॉट टू फॉलो दी अनएथिकल बिहेवियर
हां हां नेचुरली पिला माने बहुत अनमो सेति पे पिला को म्यूट करथिले अवश्य तन्मय सर मु
मैम
आपण को
गोटे सेकंड मैम एक्चुअली जण हम पिलांक भितरु जणको जदी कोहोस्ट करी होंदा तो पिला भी जानि परुचंदी के अनम्यूट करके या बाहर कथा होचंदी पिला तांको तरफरु भी गोटे गोटे पिला पर्टिकुलर को ये कर देले से तांको म्यूट करि परंदे
अच्छा हो एबे आपण तन्मय सर क्लास टा करंतु सेटा मो क्लास रे डिस्कशन करिया को पिला को मु होस्ट करबे ओके
मैम आगे मैम
थैंक यू
सर तन्मय सर आर यू ओके विथ दैट और मो पिला को का गुरे कहबे अनम्यूट कर म्यूट अनम्यूट करेबे तन्मय सर am I audible to you
मैम
हां
ମୁଁ
मु
କଣ
कहली
କହୁଥିଲି କି ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ ସମସ୍ତେ ରୁହନ୍ତୁ ମୋ କ୍ଲାସରେ କିଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ନାହିଁ ଥିଓରି କ୍ଲାସଟା ନା
अच्छा
ତ
अच्छा
ଟିକେ
नहीं
ବୋରିଂ
मु
ଲାଗିବ
कर देछि मु अनम्यूट कर देछि ऑलरेडी पिला
ହଁ ହଁ ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ
मु
ଚାହୁଁଛି
कहली
କଣ
सर
କି
लेफ्ट
ସମସ୍ତେ
देबे
ଇଣ୍ଟରାକ୍ସନ
हां
କରନ୍ତୁ କାହିଁକି କନସେପ୍ଟ ଗୁଡା ଜଲ୍ଦି ବୁଝିଯିବେ ଆମେ କାମ ସାରିଦବୁ ଯେ
अच्छा
ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ କରିବ କରିବ ଆଉ କଣ
हो हो मु
ଏନିୱେଜ ମୁଁ
ताले
ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରୁଛି
डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एमती जण जण अछंती कि टोटल सुभिबो नै किछि वॉइस सर माने
ओके
पर्टिकुलरली गोटे रु
ମିଷ୍ଟର
दिटा
ଧଳ
आगे
ଆରେ ଧଳ ବାବୁ
सर
ଟିକେ ରୁହ ବାବୁ ମତେ ଆରାମ କରିବାକୁ ଦିଅ ଏମିତି କଥା କଥାରେ 15 ମିନିଟ୍ ପଳେଇଲେଣି ହେଲା ଲେଟ୍ ମି ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କାହିଁକିନା ଥିଓରି ପ୍ରବଳ ଅଛି ତମେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କଲେ ଆଉ ହବନି ଏନିୱେଜ ମୋ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ଭିଜିବଲ ତ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ
yes
last class we had stopped over here and I have started the organizational model और OB रो आमर जो behavioral overall organizational behavioral model को हम study करते So what was that? The first model was autocratic model. Autocratic model हम कौन जानले? The basis of this model is power managerial orientation of authority. So each and every decision, whatever small things you are or the organization or the subordinates are dependent on the manager. এই বাবদରେ କଣ ହଉଛି କି ଆପଣଙ୍କର subordinates you yourself are command oriented ଯାହା ମତେ କମାଣ୍ଡ ମିଳିଲା ଯାହା ମତେ ଟାସ୍କ ମିଳିଲା I am task oriented ମୁଁ ଆଉ ମୋର କିଛି କ୍ରିଏଟିଭିଟି ରହିବନି ନେକ୍ସଟ ହଉଛି those who are in command must have the power to demand you do this or else you will be fired. So when my job is at stake, my livelihood is at stake, I have to follow. So that is the autocratic way of managing or getting things done through others. Eta sabu babadre thik nuha, and the nature of the business organization, if we consider, it happens in small organizations. It cannot happen in a big organization. Next to the autocratic, the employee in turn are oriented towards obedience, dependence on the boss. So for even a small, that I had given an example of banking. So bank manager को आमे फोन करी पचारिबु सर ए लोक ए चाहुचंदी तंकर deal रे. So for that I do not have the authority to take the decision. I have to call up my boss. So that kind of a dependence body होउची. Dependence body होले कोन? When I want to meet the target, the organizational efficiency is at a question. Whereby if there is a democratic way of operating within an organization, my competition is going to move ahead and they're going to have enjoy a larger market share. Next, the employee need is that of subsistence. So subsistence mane kono? They need livelihood. They need to occupy that particular job so that they are satisfying their own needs. आमे मैस्लोर नीड हायरार्की को जीवा जदी हमर फर्स्ट होची सेफ्टी नीड रोटी कपड़ा मकान जदी हमें सेति की आम पे की it is a necessity. So for that I need to have a job, I need to work. So employer need कोन बंचिबा हमको bare minimum जति दरकार हम बंचिबु. So I have to adjust myself, or I am in a situation where I cannot go anywhere else and I have to accordingly operate and work under that autocratic model. The performance result is minimal. Why? Because see, you are forced to do something. You cannot innovate in that particular area. Your level of motivation is low. Just because paycheck. I am worried about the month-end paycheck. Paycheck hela pore, I am happy. Next hoji kona? Autocratic its principal weakness is its high human cost, especially caused by micromanagement. By whom? By the manager or the boss, who is micromanaging each and every small happening within that particular organization. Mu moro stationery kiniya ko hele bhi more pakhre independence nahi ki mu ko type column kinibi ki paper animi. For that I am dependent upon the boss. So for even a small thing which can be ordered online within minutes, for that I have to take the permission of the boss. Micromanagement is a natural pattern of autocratic manager. It is the immersion of manager into controlling the details of daily operations. Employees typically detest micromanager with the result of being low morale, paralyzed decision making, and being second guessed. Mu thik decision nahi chira nahi. So manager is going to taunt me. अरे भाई तुम्हें कहीं तुम्हारे कौन माने इतने बुद्धि लगे यार कौन थे? I would have clarified the thing. तुम्हें बुद्धि लगे ला. So when you are questioned at each step, your intelligence is being questioned. See, more भी उठे ego अच्छी, तुम्हारी भी उठे ego अच्छी. You may be a subordinate, I may be the boss. किंतु when I taunt you every time, then the problem is your ego is hurt. That translates directly into the low performance output. Next, autocratic ray. Why is it useful? Acceptable approach to guide managerial behavior when there is no well-known or alternatives, or it is situational dependent. Autocracy ko jagah re kaam kare when your boss is somehow superior in intelligence, knowledge, work experience, and dealing with people who are actually, do not understand the process. So autocracy sei jagare chalibo when people are not that well synced with the organizational activity. Next is useful under extreme conditions such as organizational crisis. Amaro product war हुए, brand war हुए, सेतिबल को autocracy to some level is required. So what happens at that particular moment? Somebody from each side is going to be, dictating each and every activity so that ଆମେ ଜାଣୁଛୁ କି ଆମର competition କଣ କରୁଛି. For that I am ready with the counter punch. So ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ autocracy କଣ actually help କେମିତି କରିବ? Why? Because one leader is going to be a visionary leader ଯାହାର vision ରେ ଆମେ କାମ କରିବୁ, ଆମେ ଆମ competition को counter କରିବୁ. Next ହଉଛି କଣ? Custodial model. This basis of this model is economic resources with managerial orientation for money. The employee in turn is oriented towards security, माने job security. The employee need is that is met is security. The employee feel reasonable containment. Most employees are not producing anywhere near the capacity. The performance result is passive cooperation. माने मते एक दायित्व दिया हला काम करिया पे. I am just a custodian of the organization. Mu manager position न अछि. Somebody has left the organization in my, ମୋର କାନ୍ଧରେ ଜଣେ ତାଙ୍କର responsibility ଛାଡ଼ିକି ଦେଇକି ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି. I am going to run the organization. I am going to run the show. Worst to worst, I do not want to risk the organizational resources, so that I need a steady pay, I need a steady job, I need a steady kind of a thing. ମୋର ମାନେ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ମୁଁ ନା ଅଟୋକ୍ରାଟିକ ହେବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ନା ଟୋଟାଲି କମିଟେଡ ହେବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି. So thereby what is happening is, if I am relaxed, I enjoy, ହଁ ଠିକ ଅଛି ଚାଲିଛି ତ organization, ଗୋଟେ steady flow of revenue ଆସୁଛି. So what happens is, it flows, the same kind of attitude flows to the subordinates also. They will not be assessed optimally when the performance appraisal is done. କାହିଁକି ଆମର ଯଦି appraisal କରାହଉଛି, ହଁ casual appraisal ଗୋଟେ ଜଣା କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତ, ହଁ ଠିକ ଅଛି କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, pay check ନଉଛନ୍ତି, ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, but are they operating optimally in the sense that are they is their performance exceeding or meeting the standard? Meeting the standard ହେଲେ ବି ଚଳିବ, but they are so casual. Yes, just they are working. End of the day ତାଙ୍କ ମୁଣ୍ଡରେ ଅଛି ଭାଇ month end ରେ ଆମକୁ pay check ମିଳିଯିବ. We are just working, revenue steady ଆମର ଆସୁଛି, revenue କୁ ବଢେଇବାର ନାହିଁ, organization କୁ grow କରାଇବାର ନାହିଁ. So that kind of an attitude is the custodial attitude. ଯୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ କି ତମର helm ରେ ଯୋଉ manager ଅଛି, who is at the top of the operations, that guy is also not that person is also not concerned about the organizational seriousness. Next is supportive model. The basis of this model is leadership with a managerial orientation of support. The employees in turn are oriented towards job performance and participation. Psychological result is the feeling of participation and task involvement in organization. So this is one of the modern ways of operating within an organization. So I as a manager or I as a boss of the organization, I encourage my employees to share their views. Participative management concept asila. So their views are also considered when organizational decision making is being done. Their views, बहुत जनों का views common है पारे, बहुत जनों का views radical है पारे, बहुत जनों का views game changing है पारे. So if I am encouraging my employees to share their point of view, share how we are going to work in the future, ତାଙ୍କ moral ଟା obviously ବଢିବ. ସେମାନେ କହିବେ କି yes, we are part of the organization and we are part of the decision making process. Thereby what happens is, ଆମର ଯୋଉ level of motivation of the employees, that will be extremely high. ତମକୁ ମୁଁ ଯଦି ତମର ମାନେ I encourage my students that they should participate They should have a healthy discussion. Once you are having healthy discussion, I am also motivated towards clarifying the doubts. ମୁଁ ତମ ଡାଉଟ୍ କ୍ଲିୟର କଲେ ମତେ ବି ଗୋଟେ ଇଚ୍ଛା ହଉଛି କି ନାଇଁ yes the target audience is understanding what I am teaching. So similarly, the target subordinates or the people who are working within the organization, if the boss is supportive enough, it becomes much easier to attain the organizational goals. Psychological result is the feeling of participation, task involvement in the organization. Employee may say, we insisted instead of they. We insisted in the sense that they are working as a whole, as a synchronous unit, as one. Instead of ସିଏ କହିଥିଲେ, ସେ ବାବୁ କହିଥିଲେ, ସେ ବାବୁ କହିଥିଲେ, nothing like that. Next ହଉଛି କ'ଣ supporting model ରେ employees are strongly motivated because of their status, recognition of needs are better and thus betterment, and thus they have awakened drive for work. Awakened drive is basically they are self-motivated towards attaining their individual goal and overall organizational goals. Once I am attaining my individual goal, obviously it is going to show in the performance appraisal. More performance appraisal যদি ভালো হচ্ছে, then the organization is going to support me in my career development. Next হচ্ছে কোন collegian model. The collegian model is a partnership with managerial orientation of teamwork. What is that? The result is that employees feel needed and useful. There is at least one thing that cannot be done without you. Collegian model is similarly, a participative model. कौन अच्छी है इधर देखिए. Employees are in turn oriented towards responsible behavior and self-discipline. What happens is basically ଗୋଟେ organization collegian model ଟା କେମିତି କାମ କରିବ? Each and every department is responsible for their own work. When I am authorized and given adequate freedom to perform my job, then there is at times, most of the times ଆମର ନିଜ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଅଛି, they feel free ନା ଆମେ କରିବୁ, but invariably most of us would think that yes, I have been given that responsibility, I have been given that creativity to finish the job. So that onus is on us. I am self-motivated. I am, going to achieve the target on time and more organizational expect to jaha karuchi setaku mu deliver karuchi. Or employee need that is made with self-actualization. The performance result is moderate enthusiasm. Self-actualization basically means କ'ଣ? It is the ଆମର ଯୋଉ Abraham Maslow ତାଙ୍କର need hierarchy theory ରେ self-actualization is at the top of the pyramid. Why? Self-actualization, what is that self-actualization concept? Can anybody of you in brief ଗୋଟେ minute ଭିତରେ ମତେ summarize କରି କହିପାରିବ କି? If you guys are unmute, one of you.
It is the basic need of a soul.
Basic need to roti kapda makaन, সেটা safety need. What is self-actualization?
Sir, self-actualization means he is himself taking the responsibility to complete the job perfectly.
So basically,
sir, actually it means ଗୋଟେ ଏମ୍ପ୍ଲୟୀ ର ତାର କେତେ ପୋଟେନ୍ସିଆଲିଟି ରହିଛି, ତାର କେତେ କାପାବିଲିଟି ରହିଛି ସେ ଜବ୍ ପାଇଁ କି ସେ ୱାର୍କ ପାଇଁ, ତା ସେ ମାନେ ଶୋ କରେଇବ ସାର୍। ଆଉ
ସେଲ୍ଫ ଆସେସମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ପରଫର୍ମାନ୍ସ,
ଜଣେ ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଲେ କି person is motivated and ସେ ତା ପୋଟେନ୍ସିଆଲ ଶୋ କରେଇବ. yes, so self actualization ମାନେ କ'ଣ? ओके, सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन माने हमें बेसिकली कौन बुझे माने सादा लैंग्वेज रे हम कौन बुझिबे? गोटे लोक तार निजर स्वट एनालिसिस करके बुझी सारलानी, स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटी, थ्रेट सब एनालिसिस करी बुझिलानी, मो पोटेंशियल केते, मो कैपेबिलिटी केते, को जगह रे मु कंट्रीब्यूट करि परिबी मैक्सिमम, So that is how more level of motivation, more काम प्रति मोर निष्ठा केते अछि. If I am a highly motivated person, मोर obviously मोर निष्ठा टा अधिक रहइबो मो काम प्रति. So self actualization कौन कहूची मु निजको जानिची मु कौन मोर कैपेबिलिटी कौन मोर वीकनेस कौन भी मु जानिची किंतु सेटा रे मोर परफॉर्मेंस को मु मोर गोटे जेतिक मु परफॉर्म करूची जेतिक मु डेडिकेटेड मैनर रे आगुर करछु मु सेति करी कि ताठू टिके अधिका करी सो दैट तुम कॉलेजियन मॉडल कौन कहूची कॉलेजियन मॉडल रे हमर बेसिकली जिंसटा कौन कि हमर सब लोक माने निजे निजे रियलाइज करिवे कि ताको पोटेंशियल कौन they may not meet the standard they may not exceed the growth target but they are responsible for themselves जोटा कि आमे चाहूचु एक्चुअली रे हो कि जे जे से हमर आजिका संस्था रे बहुत गुडे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे जानिथिबे स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट विभिन्न एरिया रे हमर समस्तकर अछि हमर ओडिसा रे गोटे मेन हेड यूनिट हला को विभिन्न ब्रांचेस आमे रखिछु कि विभिन्न स्टेट रे हमर गोटे गोटे स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट करछु जो जगह हमर बिजनेस टा होउछि सो सेही स्ट्रेटेजिक बिजनेस यूनिट रे हमें कौन चाहिए पीपल ओवर देयर शुड बी सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड एंड they should work towards the organizational goal. So similarly in collegian model, if I realize as an individual that more capability area, I just have to work and meet the organizational goals. So say that se coach the performance result is moderate enthusiasm is called by moderate coach. Why is the person not extremely highly motivated or enthused towards work? काहेंगे ना जेबे आम सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन को आबे जाउचे आमे सेही टाइम रे जानुचे कि वर्क is not only thing that is going to satisfy you. There are many other things. So सेही जाय हम टिके डिस्ट्रैक्शन हुए से फॉर एग्जांपल बहुत जण आम भितरु काम ठीक अछि काम हम करछु बट वी हैव आवर ओन हॉबीज वी हैव आवर ओन पैशन बहुत जिनस को आम मिस आउट कर जाउछु लाइफ रे ट्रैवलिंग बहुत जनकर अछि लिसनिंग टू म्यूजिक मीटिंग न्यू पीपल और सोशलाइजिंग सब बहुत जनकर सेही पैशन टा भी थाए तो सेही पैशन को आम जदि मीट करूछु हमर लेवल ऑफ स्ट्रेस कमी कमी जीवो हम फोकस जहाँ अछि काम रे दैट मे नॉट रिड्यूस बट दैट इज कांस्टेंट नेक्स्ट होची कोन एसओबीसी मॉडल जे ह्यूमन बिहेवियर गोटे एसओबीसी मॉडल आम करूचे से कौन अच्छी स्टिमुलस organism behavior and consequences. So what is that? Let us go and see what is that. Stimulus is the cause, organism individual behavior होची से कौन माने स्टिमुलस पर इंडिविजुअल केमते अफेक्ट करछि what is the behavior displayed, consequences is the performance what or the appraisal what we are doing. Stimulus कौन it is the cause that may be overt or covert, physical, social, psychological, technological, environment, etc.
जो आमे जो रोड हो ना सामना गोटे फैमिली होतले ता भाई ता घर बोध से भगवानपुर भीतर गोटे हबो ते खाली कोन पिकअप कोन धोका देला से स्पॉट देला से राउत देवजन राउत ता भाई
धामनगर रो की अच्छा
एक्चुअली गाड़ी किछि नहीं तेना मुंडटा
ओके बहुत दुख
सर
ओके
सर पार्टिसिपेंट ऑप्शन को जाई जे भी डिस्टर्ब करूथबे तांको ऊपर क्लिक करले सेठी म्यूट करिया पई
म्यूट करले कलिबा जन तांको म्यूट करले
बस इंडिविजुअली करी हो सर किछ असुविधा नहीं
इंडिविजुअली कलिबा ओके एनीवेज सो स्टिमुलस रे हम कोन जानले कोवट फिजिकल सोशल साइकोलॉजिकल टेक्नोलॉजिकल एनवायरमेंटल बहुत जनकर गोटे कॉन्सेप्ट तुम जानिथियो बहुत टाइम रे हमें बहुत आगु भी पढ़ुथुलु रेजिस्टेंस टू चेंज टेक्नोलॉजिकली हमें कहि परि चेंज जबे हुए बहुत जन चेंज को पसंद करंतनी दे लव द सेम मोनोटोनस लाइफ 9 रु 5 काम कले ता बाद रे आसिले से चेंज को अब टॉलरेट करि परंतनी सो फॉर दैट बिकम्स a stimulus organism कौन how they are interpreting that particular stimulus आमे से stimulus को interpret करूचु ସେଇଟା କୁ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ organism ମାନେ ଆମେ as an individual ମୋର ଗୋଟେ technological change ଅଛି ଆଗରୁ everything was manual. Right now we are technology dependent, and moreover when we are into 5 years time ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ most probably artificial intelligence and some other ତ ଆପଣଙ୍କର AI ର evolution is going to take over a lot of work in sectors of decision making, predicting, so all these things. So as an individual, how I am going to react to it. If I am resistant, I am not willing to do it, then more gote negative asibo ta upare impact kon my mindset is going to be negative, my level of motivation is also going to drop. Consequences are expressed as the results. They may be overt or covert. Positive and negative can also have effects on environmental dynamics and applications. So if the positive result hochi kona, my employees, they are extremely adaptable to technology and they are quickly learning it. So more employees, so for example ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ମୁଁ ପଚାରୁଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ୱାର୍କ ଫୋର୍ସରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ନିଜ ସଂସ୍ଥାରେ ଯେବେ ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ଇଫ୍ ୟୋର କୋଲିଗ୍ସ you yourself and your organization is technology oriented and adapts itself to technology, so it is going to be better placed in terms of competition within the market. Yes or no? More workforce digitally they are knowledgeable and they are having that adequate skills to adapt themselves, so they are going to be a talented workforce vis-a-vis my competition. Yes or no? माने आमे better prepared नहीं जदि yes तो आमर consequences कौन हला कि आमे तंको stimulus देलु technologically आमे तंको advance करेलु. I am making my workforce much more prepared to adapt technology or any kind of preparedness. Say for example जदि environmental जो problem हेतिला हम COVID वेले technology helped the organization to run afloat. बहुत जन बंद कर देले स्मॉल एंड एसएमई से स्केल रे अभी जदि देखे बहुत जन बंद करी पळेले. बहुत जनकर पोस्ट कोविड बड़ बड़ कंपनी मानकर इंपैक्ट कला ऑन देयर बॉटम लाइन. बट एनीवेज पीपल डिड नॉट स्टॉप वर्किंग बिकॉज दे अडैप्टेड, दे इवॉल्व. ता बाद इवेंचुअली देयर वाज अ सेंस व्हाट हैपेंड वाज वी वंस वी अडॉप्ट we change. I'm a human being, so सबुठ बड़ा capability कौन? We are intelligent and we can adapt ourselves to different changing situation. SOBC model is based on very practical philosophy of human behavior, that is cause and effect relationship. What is the cause and how does it affect? Next is conclusion. It is an evolving model, relation of other models to human needs, increasing use of some models. जदि आमे देखिबा हमर ऑटोक्रेटिक, कॉलेजियन, हमर सपोर्टिव, हमर एनी अदर मॉडल जहाँ भी हमर अछि, तो सेही गुडा को आमे बहुत गुडे संस्था रे देखि परिबे. दैट काइंड ऑफ ए फिलॉसफी इज रन. हमर yesterday or day before one of my friends asked कि सर हमर अमेरिकन concept they do not call their boss or sir. That is kind of a democratic way of operating. You do not call your sir, I'm a boss ko ame sir boli डाकुना, ame तांको ना धरि डाकुछु. That is their philosophy. Some models work in a different setup, some models work in a different setup. So that is again evolving and we may interchange between them dependent on situation. जेमते autocratic emergency situation हम ताको adopt करिवा, तो सेही हिसाब रे we may change and adopt whatever model suits us in a particular situation. Contingent use of all models are contingent of each other. Eta काम करलन तो next को हमें जिबा. Managerial flexibility is to see to it that what is or which model is actually fitting. Next होजी कौन? Evolving model. Managers organization use the models tend to evolve over time. There is no permanent model. Primarily challenge to management is to identify the model it is actually using and then access its current effectiveness. तो माने आबे कौन बुझिबा कि जदि मोर एबे participative model रे अछि and I want to understand how effective the particular model is working, how I'm managing the organization, how I'm achieving the organizational goals. So I have to do an in-depth analysis. माने आमे देखिबु overall तापर evaluate कर देखिबु if the model which I'm using currently or the organization is using currently is effectively achieving the organizational goals or not. Next होजी कौन? Relationship of models to human needs. The 5 models are closely related to human needs. Each model is built upon accomplishments of another. Okay. Increase use of एटा सब आपन दरकार नै हम एठी डायरेक्ट पळेबा एटा गोटे समरी एटा को मु एटार काइंडली गोटे स्क्रीनशॉट नै जानतो गोटे स्क्रीनशॉट यार नै जानतो हमें काली क्लास अछि ना काली
Yes,
क्लास
sir.
थिबो ना काली आमे
Yes,
जदि
sir.
जहाँ डाउट अछि मते काली एथुर पचारिबे मु यूनिट टा आज सार देई मॉडल्स ऑफ ओबी मॉडल्स ऑफ मैन इन ओबी एटा आमे ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल मॉडल को गले एबे आमे इंडिविजुअलिस्टिक अंडरस्टैंड करबा हाउ ए ह्यूमन बीइंग इज विदिन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मॉडल्स ऑफ मैन एथुर आपनकर 5 मार्क आसीबो 8 मार्क आसीबो हला एम आई क्लियर 5 मार्क आसीबो 8 मार्क आसीबो इंडिविजुअल आपन को राइट शॉर्ट नोट्स रे 5 मार्क रु दुईटा ऑप्शन आसीबो किबा गोटे ऑप्शन आसीबो सो व्हाट इज द रैशनल इकोनॉमिक मैन हु इज ए रैशनल इकोनॉमिक मैन पीपल आर मोटिवेटेड प्राइमरीली बाय इकोनॉमिक incentives they will do things when they get them which get them the greatest economic gain माने आज का डेट रे रैशनल इकोनॉमिक मैन states that if I'm being paid the highest, you have my attention, you have my motivation, and you also have my hard work. So I am driven by money. As the organization controls the economic incentives, human beings are essentially passive agents who are manipulated, motivated, and controlled by the organization. Why? Because see, they will tell you एतिकी CTC, एतिकी benefit ये. But actually हम कितना मिलते हैं हमें सेटा calculate करना. We are passive. We are not actively engaged. We are passively working, achieving everything. Actively more कौन need को हमें जानी पड़ती है मत्ते से और संस्था कहला एतिकी CTC एतिकी आपन benefit. But I am actively towards achieving their goal. तांको goal कौन organizational goal. मो goal को तो मैं actively achieve करूँ so passive agent. Feelings of people are essentially irrational and must be controlled to achieve rationality and self-interest. এই জায়গায় কোন হচ্ছে সে তোমাকে কହୁଛି তুমি irrational এই কি তুমি most of the times of course India रे ଆମେ rationality ଆଉ self interest खोजी परिबेनी काहे ना हमर there is a lot of or high rate of unemployment ଆମେ irrational ସେ କହୁଛି এই ଜାଗାରେ ଲାଇନ୍ ଟା କଣ people feelings of people are irrational because ଆମେ ଯାହା first come first opportunity basis ରେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ job କୁ join କରି ଯାଉଛେ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଆମେ ଆମ potential କୁ assess କରୁନେ ଆମେ ଆମର market ରେ ଆମେ value ଟାକୁ ଆମେ assess କରୁନେ so next ହଉଛି organization can trust organization can and must be designed in such a way so as to neutralize and control people feelings and thereby unpredictable traits thereby and therefore they are unpredictable traits lokomanka traits unpredictable so organization must be designed in such a way in this model people are induced to produce more by providing them with economic incentives you are or basically तबा मानकर or rather employee मानकर interest तांकर level of motivation तांकर thought process तांकर hard work को organization माने economic incentive देखेगी they buy that so that their target their goals their vision are achieved हमको कौन end of the day we are shown money and of course we are motivated by money That is not माने आमे बहुत जगह सेटा this particular slide रे कहूची we may be irrational but that is the need of the hour at that particular time. We are helpless, so we invariably join that particular company and work towards achieving their goal. ଆମର internally ଆମେ କିଛି ଆଉ assess କରୁନୁ କି ମୋ potential କେତେ ମୁଁ କେତେ ପାଇ ପାରିଥାନ୍ତି. Next ହଉଛି କ'ଣ? In this case, there is no organizational employee conflict because both of them are satisfying needs simultaneously. ତମେ ପଇସା ପାଇଁ କାମ କରୁଛ ଆଉ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ତମ ସ୍କିଲ୍ସ କୁ ଆଉ ତମ ନଲେଜ ଆଉ ତମ କେସ୍ ନଲେଜ ସ୍କିଲ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆବିଲିଟିଜ କୁ ରେମ୍ୟୁନେରେ ଏ ଯୋଉ ରିଏମ୍ବର୍ସ କରୁଛି ତମ ନିଡ୍ସ କୁ ସେ ସାଟିସ୍ଫାଏ କରୁଛି ଇକୋନୋମିକ ନିଡ୍ସ କୁ ବାକି ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ କ'ଣ କନଫ୍ଲିକ୍ଟ ହବନି ପଇସା ବି ତ କାମ କଲ ନା ultimately you have come and joined an organization for economic benefit. Management is getting more production and people are getting more money. So it is a win-win situation. Demerits kona model na. As this model is based on the classical organizational theory, it suffers from the shortcomings inherent in that theory and it does not suit the present day organization. Why? এই জায়গার গোটে কোশ্চিন আপনার মতে করিবা কথা স্যার फर्स्ट लाइन रे आम खाली कौन पैसा पे लोक गोड़ाउछन आउ किछि नहीं आम फर्स्ट स्लाइड रे कि जो फर्स्ट क्लास या सेकंड क्लास में पढ़ी मनी इज नॉट दी ओनली क्राइटेरिया फॉर पीपल टू वर्क हार्ड यस और नो आज का डेट
यस
हाउ कौन यू नीड रिवॉर्ड रिकॉग्निशन आपण काम कर यू आर वर्किंग वेरी हार्ड इफ योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डजंट रिवॉर्ड यू अवार्ड यू मोर जदि बॉस मते दुईटा भल कथा न कहला बस ओके यू आर वर्किंग टेक द पेचेक गो होम सो दैट इज काइंड ऑफ यू नो रोबोटिक रिलेशनशिप तार किछि नाही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे आमे जदि किछि इमोशन रहू नाही देन व्हाट इज द पॉइंट काहे कि आम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भितरे गोटे फॉर्मल स्ट्रक्चर अछि फाइन but within that formal structure if my work is only recognized in terms of money then what is the point मो पैसा पाइबी काम करी मोर जदि किछि मोर मते अवार्ड दिया गला नि रिवॉर्ड गला नहीं नॉन मॉनिटरी ये रे देन व्हाट इज द पॉइंट बहुत जगह आपण मानकर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से आपण देखिथिबे बैंकिंग रे अछि स्टार एम्प्लॉय ऑफ द मंथ सेल्स रे और बेस्ट एम्प्लॉय ऑफ द मंथ व्हाई इट इज डन बिकॉज monetary I mean no dei paru but emotionally if I am supporting that particular person's hard work that the person is going to be again working extremely hard for me who am I am the organization so ei jaga re demerit kona ki paisa ta sabule kabar lageni we have to again understand the emotion reward the people accordingly. The economic incentives can work till the man is not reasonably satisfied by the need of money माने जेतिकी जाय कि पैसा दे कि तमे ता से नीड टा को सैटिस्फाई करूचो सेतिकी से ठीक अछि हम काम करबा जदि आपण ताकू तार हार्ड वर्क को रिवार्ड ये करू नांती ता बाद लेवल कांस्टेंट हे जो आउटपुट ता बाद आउ किछि ग्रोथ रहइबनी आमे कोन चाहूचे मैक्सिमाइजिंग इंडिविजुअल output so that organizational goals are quickly met and we can diversify further मोर जदि एक्सेसिव रेवेन्यू आसिला आज मो पाखे एक्सट्रा 10 टका अच्छी से 10 टका भितर मोर 10 टका 5 टका गोटे नुआ यूनिट खोलिया कि जीवी तो आई विल डाइवर्सिफाई इनटू सम अदर फील्ड सो दैट शुड बी द थॉट प्रोसेस ऑफ एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नेक्स्ट इज यार कौन कहूची though the need of money is inexhaustible unlimited and the man will never have enough but after a certain stage only money will not be sufficient to him जो point तक मैं आसुतिली he will have some psychological needs also which cannot be fulfilled by organization in this case therefore it can be stated that the whole assumption of rational economic man are not sufficient in understanding and predicting human behavior so आमे जोटा कहिले कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भितर पैसा देके आपण लोक को रखले ठीक अछि बहुत दिन काम करबनी वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट अदर रिक्वायरमेंट्स हाउ emotionally we can support them. How we have to understand the human being as a whole. Next hoji kon social man. It has its assumption, it has its origin from Hawthorne. Hawthorne ଆମେ କଣ ପଢିଥିଲେ? Okay, let's not go into it. ବହୁତ ଜଣଙ୍କୁ ମନେ ନଥିବ. Anyways, human beings assumptions କଣ ଏଇଥିରେ? Human beings are basically motivated by social needs and all their efforts are directed towards getting this satisfaction by maintaining relationship with others. So if I am getting money and my social needs, I have a good informal setup within the organization, ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ସାଙ୍ଗ base ହେଇଯାଇଛି, then I would love to work within that organization. My performance may not be high, but it is also not reducing. Second କଣ କହୁଛି? Human being is more responsive to pressures and sanctions from his social group than to incentives and controls of the management. ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ informal group ରେ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ leader ଅଛି, ତା କଥାରେ ଆମେ ବହୁତ ଜଣ ମୋଟିଭେଟେଡ ହେଇକି ଆମେ ଆମ କାମକୁ ଆମେ ଆମ କାମକୁ ନେଗ୍ଲେକ୍ଟ କରିଦଉଛେ, ଅଣଦେଖା କରିଦଉଛେ। ତ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ କଣ ହଉଛି, ସେଇ ସୋସିଆଲ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନକୁ as a student of OB and HRM, we have to understand why this is happening. Because that particular person who has a social group, he or she needs to be in that social group. ତାଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଦରକାର ଗ୍ରୁପ so that ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟେନ୍ସ ଗୋଟେ ସୋସାଇଟିରେ ରହିବ କିମ୍ବା ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନରେ ରହିବ, ତାଙ୍କର ନିଜର ଗୋଟେ ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ରହିବ। ତ ସେଇ ପାଇଁ କି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ କମନ ଗ୍ରୁପ ବିହେଭିୟର ହେଇଯାଏ। The reason is that he values social relationship higher than economic motives, which are directly under the control of management. So instead of working for money, ଆମେ କଣ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ? person values human relationships, so social human relationship। ସେ ଜାଗାରେ କି ଆମକୁ ସାଙ୍ଗସାଥି କନସେପ୍ଟଟା ବେଶୀ ଦରକାର। ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ ଏଇଟାର ନେଗେଟିଭ ଇମ୍ପାକ୍ଟ ହଉଛି କଣ? The small group will translate into a big group and organizations suffer for it. ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ କଣ କହିବା? ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ୟୁନିୟନ କରିବେ, ୟୁନିୟନ କଲା ପରେ ସେ they have a different set of demands. ଆମକୁ ଏଇଟା ଦରକାର, ସେଇଟା ଦରକାର। The management may not have the economic resources and thereby it will cause conflicts. यार ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଆସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ କଣ? HRM ର ଗୋଟେ ସବସେଟ୍ ହଉଛି IR, ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିଆଲ ରିଲେସନସିପ। ତ ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ ଯିବା ସେଇଠୁ ସଲ୍ଭ କରିବା। ଯଦି ଆମେ OB ଆଡେ we are not fulfilling or understanding their behavior, OB ଯଦି ଫେଲ୍ କଲା ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ IR ତାଙ୍କୁ ସମ୍ଭାଳିବା। That is again a headache. The amount of work to be done by worker is not determined by his physical capability or by the management, but by the physical norm, social norm. Social norms ମାନେ କଣ? ସେ ଗ୍ରୁପର ନିଜର ଗୋଟେ ନିୟମ କାନୁନ ଅଛି। ଆମେ ଏଠି କ୍ରମରେ ଆସିବା। ସେ ଫର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟର ଜବରେ ଆମେ ଯଦି ଦେଖୁଥିବା, ବହୁତ ଲୋକ ଅନ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ ଆସନ୍ତିନି। 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock is the office time. Moreover, central government has the office times from 9:30. But even now, people will attend office at 11 a.m. They'll leave office by 11:30 for a cup of tea, come back, start their job. From 12 to 1, they'll work, and to 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, they'll go for lunch. ତା ବାଦରେ ଆସିବେ 3ଟା 3:30 ବେଳକୁ again a cup of coffee or a tea. ତା ବାଦରେ 5ଟା ବେଳକୁ they are at home. କଣ? Day is over. So they have their own social norm. Next ହଉଛି କଣ? Generally, people do not act or react as individual, but as a member of a group. ମାନେ act or react ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଆମେ କଣ କରିବା? When people are, I am assigned a particular job, ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ particular department ରେ ଅଛି, but ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ as an individual, I also am a part of the social group. So as a member of the social group, I will forget that I'm also a part of the official or the formal group. ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ କଣ? ମୁଁ ମୋର ଇନଫର୍ମାଲ ଗ୍ରୁପର ଯାହା ବି ଡିମାଣ୍ଡ ଥିବ, ଯେମିତି ଗଣ୍ଡଗୋଳ କରିବାର ଅଛି କିମ୍ବା ଚାନ୍ଦା ମାଗିବାର ଅଛି, ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ଆମେ ଯାଇକି କରିବୁ ଅଫିସ ଭିତରେ। ଦେନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ is not solving the purpose. Next ହଉଛି କଣ? Informal leaders play an important role in setting and enforcing group norms. Informal leaders ଗ୍ରୁପର ଯିଏ ବି ଥିବ, सी प्रेसराइज कर गोटे लोक को काम न करने आउट ऑफ दी वे माने एतिकी प्रेशर रहिबो कि से माने गोटे लोक को डिमोटिवेट करके भी छाड़ देबे। नेक्स्ट हो मैनेजमेंट शुड चेंज and organize work in such a way that it provides more belongingness, not only in terms of interpersonal and group relationship, but also man's relationship with job. So, either challenge for HRM and OB is to identify all these things and create an environment where man is again meeting ତାଙ୍କର social need ଅଛି ତା ବାଟରେ କିନ୍ତୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ on the job need ରହୁଛି ତାଙ୍କର I love my job. So that kind of a mindset kebe asibo when I am constantly training my employee, constantly providing support, constantly praising that employee's output, performance appraisal pore. You are a part of the organization. You are invaluable. You are indispensable part of the organization. That if I am boosting that kind of a thing to my employee, to my subordinate, then the person is going to love the job. So distraction level कमिबो. Yes, there will be social group. We cannot deny it. सेटा केबेली बंद केही कर परिबे. किंतु से distraction कम आमक effort ता आम job रे देखेबो. The type of managerial strategy that is to be applied in case of social man is quite different as compared to the strategy applied in case of economic rational man. The total system of social man is directed towards people and people's development. Okay, changes required to managerial strategy. Earlier in the management, it was conceived only with the output given by the workers. In this approach, the management had to pay attention to the workers. In this approach, management had to pay attention to the workers as also being human beings. Earlier, the only concern of the management of the management was to provide economic incentives to worker, or in other words, to look after the economic needs. But under this concept, psychological needs were also considered. Next is another required change was to analyze and motivate human behavior in terms of groups rather than individual basis. Another change was required was in the behavior of manager. Instead of being the controller of behavior, he was supposed to act as a supporter of workers. So the manager, instead of being the boss, manager had to play the role of a leader. Social man approach was also considered somewhat simplistic. As time passed, OB theorists such as Argyris, Likert, McGregor argued that people in organization need opportunities to use their individual creativity and must have their growth needs met in order to function effectively. Okay. Today we'll stop here. Any doubts? Kar doubt achhi pacharam. Any questions? Any doubts? Kindly please ask me. Anyone?
सर से जो मॉडल्स ऑफ ओबी जो टेबल टारे सर एम्प्लॉयज नीड मेट ऑटोक्रेटिक जो सबसिस्टेंस लिखा है जी व्हाट डज इट मीन
एई टेबल तो
यस सर
कोड लिखा है जी सबसिस्टेंस इज माने हमर बेयर मिनिमम नीड रोटी कपड़ा मकान परा तुमको सैलरी दरकार यू नीड जस्ट टू सर्वाइव व्हाट इज द बेयर मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट ऑटोक्रेटिक मॉडल ले तमरो बंचिपा पे कोन दरकार तुमको सेतिकी ही दिया होछ ऑटोक्रेटिक मॉडल ले ऑटोक्रेटिक मॉडल ले तमरो किछि वॉइस रहूची की
नो सर
तमर किछि वॉइस रहउनी तम क्रिएटिविटी किछि रहउची कि तम नीड्स को से माने देखुचंती कि ना तम आउटपुट को देखुचंती
यस सर
हला आउ कोन किछि कार क्वेश्चन अछि कि
सर से मॉडल रे तो सिस्टम मॉडल भी अछि एज पर बुक
हां कोन बुक रे कोन
माने
को
ऑटोक्रेटिक कस्टोडियल सपोर्टिव कॉलेजियल देन सिस्टम मॉडल
सिस्टम कोन कहउछ ପଢୁନାହାନ୍ତି ପଢିକି କୁହନ୍ତୁ ସିଷ୍ଟମ କଣ କହୁଛି।
System is the most emerging model of the today's corporate era in the system model. And that is the digital model one, I think, sir. Evolving one.
ସିଷ୍ଟମ ମଡେଲ ଇଜ ଦି ୟୁଜ ଅଫ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ଏଆଇ ମଡେଲ। ସେଟାକୁ ମୁଁ ଏଥିପାଇଁ କହୁନି କାହିଁକି ନା ଆମର ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଯେବେ ମୁଁ ଯାଉଛି ଏସଓବିସି ମଡେଲରେ ଏ ଜାଗାରେ ଅଲରେଡି ଆଇ ହାଭ୍ କଭର୍ଡ ଏନଭାୟରମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜିକାଲ ସାଇକୋଲୋଜିକାଲ। ସୋ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଆମେ ଦଉଛେ କଣ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ମଡେଲର ବି ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛେ। ଦ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଆଇ ହାଡ୍ ଗିଭେନ୍ କି ଏନି ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି the concept of resistance to change came when the technology was used. So system model आपण कौन कहूची the use of technology so that ଆପଣଙ୍କର जो aspects of monitoring behavior से for example ଆମର HRIS रे किबा ଆମେ SAP को यूज करूचे। SAP गोटे सॉफ्टवेयर अछि जोटा बहुत जण आपण जानिथिबे सब इंडिविजुअल डिपार्टमेंटल ये पे कि ଆମେ SAP यूज करूचे सिस्टम्स रे ଆମେ ମନିଟର କରିବା। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଏଇ ଯାକୁ ମୁଁ ଏଥିପାଇଁ କି କହୁଛି ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ମୋର ବି ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ ସବୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯାହା ଇନଫର୍ମାଲ ବିହେଭିୟର ଫର୍ମାଲ ବିହେଭିୟର ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଆପ୍ରେଜାଲଟାକୁ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଇଣ୍ଟରପର୍ସନାଲ ଫର୍ମାଲ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ ଆଜ ୱେଲ୍ ଆଜ ଇନଫର୍ମାଲ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନକୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସିଷ୍ଟମ୍ସ ଆଡପ୍ଟ କରୁଛି କି? ଏବେ ତ ଏଆଇ ଆସିଲା ଏଆଇ କୁ ତ ଆମେ ଟୋଟାଲି ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ କରିନି। ମୋ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ଟା ବୁଝିପାରିଲ କି? ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସିଷ୍ଟମ୍ସ ଆପଣ କାମଟାକୁ ଜଗିଦବ କାମଟାକୁ ମନିଟର କରିବ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଅଫିସିଆଲ ଇଣ୍ଟରପର୍ସନାଲ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ ବିଟୱିନ୍ ୟୋର ବସ୍ ବିଟୱିନ୍ ୟୋର ସବଅର୍ଡିନେଟ୍ସ informal communication between the social group is it monitoring?
No, sir.
No, it is only going to monitor ଆପଣଙ୍କର କାମର ଆଉଟପୁଟ କେତେ। ଏସଏପି ରେ ବି ମୁଁ କଣ କାମ କରୁଛି ସେ ରେକର୍ଡ କରୁଛି କେତେ ସମୟ କାମ କରୁଛି ସେ ରେକର୍ଡ କରୁଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ଯୋଉ ସମୟ ମୁଁ କାମ କରୁନି ମୋ ମାଇଣ୍ଡରେ କଣ ଅଛି ସେ ରିଡ୍ କରିପାରିବ କି? ଯଦି ଆପଣଙ୍କର କାମ ଆପଣ ପରଫେକ୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ବଟ୍ ୟୁ ଇନ୍ ୟୋର ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ହେଟିଂ ଦି ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ୟୁ ହେଟ୍ ୟୋର କୋଲିଗ୍ସ can AI can the system model predict it? No, AI can because of your behavior but ସେଇ ମଡେଲ ଏବେ ଆମେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରୁନି। Anyway, systems ଆସିବ systems ଉପରେ ବି ଆପଣ ଲେଖିବେ that I haven't covered and kindly ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ସିଲାବସ୍ ବହିରେ ଅଛି ସେଇଥିରୁ ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଯୋଉଟା ମିସ୍ କରିଯିବି ମତେ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଟିକେ ରିମାଇଣ୍ଡ କରୁଥିବେ କାହିଁକିନା ମୁଁ ସବୁ କଭର କରିବିନି। ମୁଁ ଆମ ରବିନ୍ସ ବହି ହିସାବରେ ଯାଉଛି ଆମ ବହି ହିସାବରେ ମୁଁ ଯାଉନି। ରବିନ୍ସ ଆଉ ଲୁଥାନ୍ସକୁ ମିଶେଇକି ମୁଁ ପଢଉଛି। ଏନିୱେଜ ଆଜି ପାଇଁ ଏତିକି ଥାଉ। ଆଉ କାହାର କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ଯଦି ପଚାର।
ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ବଢିଆ ପଢେଇଲେ ମାନେ ଏକ୍ସାମ ପର୍ସପେକ୍ଟିଭ ରେ ଆପଣ ପୁରା ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଦ ବେଷ୍ଟ whatever the notes you are giving that is perfectly we can secure very good mark.
କାଇଣ୍ଡଲି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ମନେ ରଖନ୍ତୁ ଏକ୍ସାମ ଯେବେ ଆପଣ ଦେବେ କାଇଣ୍ଡଲି ଥିଓରି ପେପର ଆମର ମୋର ଯେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଥିଓରି ପେପର ହେଲା ଆପଣଙ୍କ HRM ଥିବ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଆଉ ସବୁ ଥିଓରି ପେପର ଥିବ ପ୍ଲିଜ ଫୋକସ୍ ଅନ୍ ରାଇଟିଂ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ୍ସ when you explaining ଯାହା ଆପଣ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ କରିବେ ଗୋଟେ ଲାଇନ ଦି ଲାଇନ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଦଉଥିବେ ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଯେ ଇଭାଲୁଏଟ କରିବ ତାର ବି ଇଚ୍ଛା ହବ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ମାର୍କ ଦେବା। ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ ୱାନ୍ ଟ୍ରିକ୍ ୟୁ ସୁଡ୍ ରିମେମ୍ବର। ओके देन थैंक यू ऑल।
सर क्वेश्चन कब पचाने
हाँ आउरी अच्छी की हाँ पचार सॉरी
सर करेंटली एआई तो अपन जंदी कहले इंप्लीमेंटेशन हेनी किछि गोडा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ले जो कने एमएनसी गोडा इंप्लीमेंटेशन करि सरले वर्तमान आमे ए चैलेंज फेस करछु जे आम टीम रे सपोज एग्जांपल आगुरु 10 जण काम करथिले वर्तमान से याकू रिप्लेस करी 5 जण आउ एआई रो मास्टर मॉडल धीरे धीरे आमे समान को फुली कंट्रोल देइनु पार्शियली कंट्रोल दोछु किंतु से माने को आउ 2 वर्ष परे आमे प्रेडिक्ट करछु जे 80% तांको कंट्रोल दबा को पड़िबो से माने दे आर बेटर देन ह्यूमन मान आम नॉर्मल रिसोर्स टू in respect of every aspect of productivity accuracy everything so tanka lagi ame organization behavior ko kemti set up kariwa rules regulations kemti set up kariwa seita ko
AI को जदी आपण कंट्रोल देले सही पई त
कंट्रोल तो अलग कथा सब वर्तमान रियल केस रे सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर माने यो आपण सुनिथिबे रिसेशन स्टार्ट होची that will be a huge recession. Not only it will affect to the software industry, almost every industry it is going to normally gote clerical post to नेकी आपनकर मैनेजमेंट पोस्ट जाय भी अफेक्ट करियो
एआई समस्त को रिप्लेस करिवो
समस्त को नहीं समस्त को काम को सर
मु बुझिली तापरे
जेतेबेले सेमानक भितरे आपण आमे कोन गोटे ह्यूमन को ओबी रे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बिहेवियर आमे किछि पॉलिसीज करिवा रूल्स रेगुलेशन करिवा सेमान को ट्रेनिंग दबा कहयो फॉलो करिवा एआई की आमे जेतेबेले गोटे रूल्स रेगुलेशन करिवा जेतेबेले फॉलो करिवेनी वर्तमान स्टेट रे आपनकर लेटेस्ट कोर्ट मु पेपर्स की आपण अपडेट्स कोन अछि केमती कोन आमे एआई को ऑर्गेनाइज्ड करि परिवा तांको लागि ओबी करि परिवा तांको लागि
एआई पे तो ओबी हेई परिबनी एटा मन रखंतु आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज अ टेक्नोलॉजिकल इन्वेंशन कहि परिबा यस एटी की तो राजी होचन यस और नो
यस सर
human beings have created it. It's not vice versa. Human beings have created it. Human beings को यदि AI replace करूची, where is OB coming? OB has no role. नहीं OB has no role over here. Kindly listen to me. आपन क्वेश्चन बहुत भलो क्वेश्चन थिला आपन मते कहले कि AI पे OB कोन AI पे OB किछ नहीं AI को बनेला कि
नहीं सर AI रो अलगा यूजेस माने हमें जेमती नॉर्मल गोटे इंजीनियर हो कि गोटे एम्प्लॉय हमें को हायर
AI को आपण ओबी रे इंटीग्रेट करिया चाहते हे परिबो जदी सेटा जदी आपण क्वेश्चन हे परिबो
बस सेटा ही क्वेश्चन कारण AI
अच्छा नहीं टिके गोटे सेकंड आपण को खाली गोटे जिंस पचारिबी डू यू ड्राइव ए कार इक्विप्ड विथ ADAS
ADAS लेवल 2 तो नो बेसिकली
ADAS रे आपण को अछि तो यू ड्राइव ए कार विथ ADAS
yes
advanced driver assistance system yes in most countries what is that system that is again a chip based AI से आपण को आपण ड्राइविंग कंडीशन को ठीक कराइबो लेन रे रखिबो जहा भी करिबो इट इज फॉर द ड्राइवर प्रोटेक्शन आज का डेट रे गोटे सिस्टम अछि हमर एटा टेक्नोलॉजी हैज बीन अगेन माने आसीगलानी आसीबो ना नहीं इंडिया रे मु जानिनी किबा थिबो नॉट दैट मच यू नो माने सेही पर मोर आईडिया नहीं there are certain brands which will look at the pupil of the driver and say and you know give a गोटे ड्राइवर को ता स्टीयरिंग रे गोटे जर्क देबे तो से कहबे कि नहीं आपन को निद लागुची काइंडली स्टॉप द व्हीकल हैव अ कप ऑफ कॉफी देन ड्राइव हैज इट कम टू इंडिया
ना सर
नहीं ठीक अच्छी अगेन this is a not a joke I'm saying there are such powerful nations in the country where I will not name the country you can guess
sir,
what is
I know
it
that one of my friend is working on Saudi and they are working on that only
no let me complete the jodi eta achi just let me complete there is one ex operator of a company who had said I had just seen the podcast in YouTube a year ago or so. That particular person revealed that a country in the world has a capability to hack each and every individual. जहाँ पाखे गोटे वेब कैमेरा अच्छी गोटे टेलीविजन अच्छी गोटे स्मार्ट डिवाइस अच्छी
yeah that's feasible sir
मु कौन कथारता करूची से जानी परिबो जदी से कैपेबिलिटी अच्छी एआई काहेकि से जगह रे हमर काम करिवोनी ओबी रे हमर फेस रिकग्निशन टेक्नोलॉजी आसी वर्किंग कंडीशन आम जदी सेही टाइप रो आमे ताको प्रोग्राम करिबा ताले ऑब्वियसली ओबी कैन इंटीग्रेट एआई एज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट बट सेही तर प्रॉब्लम कोन कमिंग टू दैट मेन क्वेश्चन ह्यूमन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इमोशन आपणकर गोटे इमोशन गोटे लोक केम जानिबा आपणकर मु आपनको इंसल्ट करली as a boss as a teacher as someone you know, I have insulted you. Can AI actually say ଯଦି ତମ facial expression ନ change ହଉଛି କିମ୍ବା ତମେ ଭିତରେ ସେଇଟାକୁ ରଖିଦେଲ, can I, apart from being a human, I can say yes, I have insulted the person is feeling bad, or person is going to react. But can AI predict it 100% in an accurate manner? ନା, କରିପାରିବନି। AI ସେତିକି ଆଡଭାନ୍ସ ନୁହଁ। ଆଉ ସେଇ ଆଡଭାନ୍ସମେଣ୍ଟକୁ ଗଲା ବେଳକୁ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ୍ ବିଙ୍ଗସଙ୍କର ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ହିଁ ନଥିବ। ସେ ତ ସବୁ ଇମୋସନ୍ସକୁ ପ୍ରେଡିକ୍ଟ କରିକି ଦେଇଦେବେ। ଇଭନ୍ योर से happiness को भी ସେମାନେ replicate କରିପାରିବେ, joy को replicate କରିପାରିବେ। If AI can replicate all these things, not in a simulated environment, चश्मे जो कवर पिंधिकी तमे सेही इमोशन को एंजॉय करिबनी, एक्चुअली तुम करूछ कि ना, AI करि परिबो नाही। AI आपण कामटा को सुविधा करिवो, कि ultimately the boss is the human being. We have to monitor so that AI doesn't see आजिका डेट रे ग्रॉक होची गोटे AI कहार सबटू धनी लोक किए हमर भाई
इलन मस्क,
टेस्ला मालिक ना कौन
इलॉन मस्क सर।
हाँ इलन, आम इलन भाई को भी तार निजर AI भूल कहला। एटा एग्जांपल ए 6 मास भितर गोटे
ठीक अछि,
आर्टिकल बाहर थिला,
ठीक
ग्रॉक
अछि।
AI
भूल कहूची
ग्रॉक
20% आमे कहि परिया भूल कहूची, 80% ठीक तो कहूची। आमे तो अवॉइड करि परिया ना, आमे जिंस को जोटी रियल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन होची
आपणकर जो जगह जेतिकी दरकार से पैरामीटर टा के सेट करिवो, ह्यूमन बीइंग सेट करिवो, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सेट करिवो ना AI सेट करिवो, मत सेतिकी
नहीं सर,
आंसर दियो।
प्योरली मु आपन आउथर क्वेश्चन कहूची, मे भी आपन बुझ पारलेनी। आज जेमते आमे गोटे लेबर को हायर करछोंती, लेबर से नहीं कि गोटे इंजीनियर को हायर करछोंती, गोटे मैनेजर को हायर करछोंती। काली का डेट रे आपन को हम पाखरे नॉट काली में भी 5 वर्ष 10 वर्ष पर हम पाखरे जोटा एबे यूएस रे कि अदर कंट्री रे कलेनी ह्यूमनॉइड रोबोट आसी, वेरी प्लेन वर्ड। सो आपण आमे गोटे आमे भी से यदि बाय चांस से समय रे पहुंची थिबा, आमे तमन को मैनेज करियो पड़ियो। तो मु जानिया चाहू कि एमबीए प्रोग्राम थ्रू रो आपण कोन सजेस्ट करिवे, आमे केमती along with human robots को भी मैनेज करियो। मे बी आई एम गोइंग टू पॉइंट यस्टरडे क्वेश्चन, वर्तमान आमे फेस करछु चैलेंज दीटा जनरेशन पिला को मैनेज करियो को। गोटे हेले जो माने जेन जी, गोटे हेले जो माने मोर देन 30 35 आपण
मिलेनियल्स।
आपण कोन सजेस्ट करिवे, हमें केमती ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मैनेज करियो। मोस्टली आई हैव जॉइन्ड फॉर दिस, नॉट एन एग्जाम, sorry for that. I am very much interested to manage people. I am also managing lot of people.
नहीं, आपनकर क्वेश्चन टा एबे हम बुझ पाने, हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू मैनेज रोबोट्स, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स?
Yes.
What is your actual question?
Sir, currently I am managing human beings, but I am pretty sure that in between 10 years I have to manage humanoid robots.
Okay,
Also,
okay, you
I
are
am
managing human beings?
robots only. Now,
Okay,
sorry
okay,
for
okay,
interruption, sir.
okay.
Along with human beings, I am managing hundreds of bots. Bots means they are working for our organizations. They are delivering every day some task.
Bot, बुझली, computer bot.
Yes. So how can I create?
You are actually a computer engineer, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You are computer engineer तो?
Yes.
Computer engineer मैनेज करूची बॉट को, बॉट रो पैरामीटर्स और तार जो काम रो जो डिस्क्रिप्शन टा किए लिखि दउची, बॉट कौन काम करिवो
ह्यूमन
किए लिखि दउची, ह्यूमन बीइंग तो ता देरे आपनकर जदी कहउचंदी कि एआई टेक ओवर कर दियो बहुत किछि, ताके मॉनिटर करिवो।
सही तो होची चैलेंज, ता भीतर दी प्रकार रो एआई आसीबो।
लेट मी कंप्लीट। एआई को आपनकर प्रोग्रामिंग आपन करके एआई टा को रखि देले, एआई को आपन मॉनिटर करिवे।
ऑल द फ्रेमवर्क वी आर मेकिंग, बट दे आर कम्युनिकेटिंग विथ देयर लैंग्वेजेस।
तो सेईटा पाई कि तो ह्यूमन बीइंग दरकार ना बाबू, आपनकर सेईटा पाई कि ह्यूमन बीइंग दरकार। आपण जो जिंस को सृष्टि करिचंदी ता पाई कि हु इज रेस्पोंसिबल? You are responsible. You have to see to it whatever is the desired function of that particular product is as per your requirement, not their requirement. AI is evolving, but AI को control करिवे कहाँ दायित्व आपणकर जेतिकी जन लोक अछंती जो माने प्रोग्रामिंग करूचंती तांको दायित्व भी आपणकर. AI cannot predict emotion now, but it will.
ठीक कहजन सर. सर सबले ए क्वेश्चन आंसर पारे मते फेमस मूवी मैट्रिक्स रो सीन गोडा मन पड़े. मे बी
आपणकर क्वेश्चन टा बुझंतु मु बुझिली. OB is where आपण फंडामेंटल कांसेप्ट टा बुझंतु. AI जब इमोशन मैनेज करिवो सेतबेल को आमर थियोरी चेंज हेई पारे. दैट आई एग्री बिकॉज गोटे स्टडी गोटे रिसर्च इज नॉट स्टेगनेंट, बट टिल ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर देयर HRM रो OB गोटे पार्ट रही. बिकॉज ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर the main people who form the organization, not
Sir,
resources.
OB
Resources
कौन only for human beings?
आउ कहा पेंगे हम करछे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टा कोउत
like
रही
ना human beings लगे सर. I am still confused.
ओबी अरे बिहेवियर टा कहा रगी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बिहेवियर कहा बिहेवियर टा कौन कार बिहेवियर.
Organization is shifting towards machines.
When it will shift, then the concept of OB will again evolve itself. But currently, the origin of this.
Correct me if I am wrong.
Currently, जब हमें पढ़िले, let us there is again enough of argument. आपण जब स्लाइड देखुले फर्स्ट जदि आपण क्लास अटेंड करथिबे ओरिजिन ऑफ ओबी कोउट अछि साइकोलॉजी रु. एआई रो साइकोलॉजी कोन psychologically theory psychology the particular thing has come from which has it come from a technology or is it only by observing human beings? Anthropology, is it the study of machines or is it the study of human beings? Political science, some concepts have come from political science. Power, conflict, is it the study of human beings or is it the study of machines? Machines would never understand, or AI would never understand right now in their nascent stage what is the concept of power and conflict. Yes, they will. They are slowly evolving themselves. But at that particular time, according to what you are telling me, currently OB is human being or human oriented. Jeti human beings rahibe, organization behavior ta will be mostly human oriented. Post AI, what evolution comes, that is again unpredictable. Ame ebe kahi paribuni kuade jauchu OB. Because do you think if 1.4 billion people in a particular country and our neighboring country having 1.25 billion, they will be obsolete within 5 years of time? No.
I think 2 years, sir.
5 वर्ष भीतर जदि AI टेक ओवर करिगला, AI को टेक ओवर करिया पे कि कोन लोक माने खालीटार बसिबे.
सर सेति बेले हमें OB रो कोन गोटे नुवा ब्रांच आसीबो organization behavior for
obviously OB will merge itself with the ethics of computer science, ethics of human beings, because तम सोसाइटी रो गोटे ethics अछि. सेही जगह बिहेवियर कांसेप्ट को हमें केबे जोड़िबा if the behavior or the actions are ethically correct or not. सेही जगह एथिक्स आसी एबे एथिक्स आसीबोनी कहीं ना जदि आपणकर से फॉर एग्जांपल हमर बहुत गुडे जगह अछि विभिन्न जिनस तो सेही हिसाब रे हम लोकंकर आम देश रे तो एटलीस्ट हम बहुत लोकन को अपॉर्चुनिटी दउछ बिकॉज़ आई नीड टू बी इन पावर. एआई को टेक ओवर करे देले कोन हो से लोक मानकर जॉब टा कोन अनेबे से ना देयर विल बी ए कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. Okay, anyways, thank you. I hope I have satisfied some of your curiosity.
Yeah, greatly.